Hello? Okay. Hi. We're back. It is morning. I slept in. I intended to get up like 2 hours earlier than this and start streaming so that I knew I'd have enough time to finish this route before I had to go to work. But we like to live on the edge. So here I am. I work in 4 hours. Good morning, Sleazy. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can finish Kinji's route. If we can finish Kinji's route, I still have 2 more routes to go, and I still won't be done by tomorrow. So, but we'll be getting there. We're making progress. And Kinji's route has been just adorable this whole time. It got quiet, and I thought I broke the game. Early the next morning, I went to the prison house with everyone in the entertainment district. Riko had grabbed the collar of her kimono and was tossing and turning in pain. Riko, it's all right now. No, it's not. I held Riko's hand, placing my other hand on her chest. I prayed that Riko's disease will be fully cured, and then a light began to emit from my hand. Please wake up. As I concentrated on yet another prayer, the light became stronger and stronger. The light grew so bright that it enveloped our entire surroundings. It should work now. That's way too confident.
ルリコの腕からあざが消えてる。
The bruise that disappeared from Riko's arm.
何?
What? The two who had kept some distance approached Riko and looked over her body.
腕だけでなく、首のあざも消えている。あとはルリコが目を覚ますかだが。
It's not just the bruise on her arm, the one on her neck is gone too. All that's left for her is to wake up, and then my character passes out. Riko, are you awake?
あなたは
You are. Her eyes were wide open. She was speaking clearly and was conscious once again.
やったじゃん!
You did it, Leah. For some reason, the guard was looking at Riko with a jealous expression. I wonder why he's making that face. Though I was curious, I needed to focus on Riko now that she was awake.
あなたが私を助けてくれたんでしょ。本当にありがとう。
You're the one who saved me, right? Thank you so much. No problem. More importantly, I'm sorry to ask you this right after you've woken up. Can you tell me what you know about Tatsunosuke?
タツさん?
Tatsu? I quickly explained to Riko what had happened up to this point. If we continue to let Tatsunosuke do what he wishes, there will be more victims like
タ
yourself.
ツさんがそんな
I can't believe that Tatsu would... She had only just woken up and had been told that Tatsunosuke was the one who turned her into a Blightfall, the same Tatsunosuke who had gone missing. It was impossible to tell how much of a shock that must have been.
わかったわ。全部話す。
I understand. I'll tell you everything. Riko looked conflicted as she gave us an answer. I understand that they don't pay a lot for the secondary characters who aren't main characters, but like, I feel like you could have spliced a commoner's robe onto this girl's body, because I can't imagine them keeping her in a prison cell in a kimono like this. Especially since when she was taken into custody, she was wearing that black outfit. Riko looked conflicted as she gave us an
そもそも
answer.
の始まりはタツさんに変なあざができてしまってからなの。
Everything started happening when a strange bruise appeared on Tatsu.
タツさん、腕は大丈夫?
Tatsu, is your arm alright?
ああ、全然痛みはないし、平気だよ。
Yeah, it doesn't hurt at all, it's fine.
でも
But
心配してくれてありがとう。それより今日は、みゆけのお祝いで、たくさんの人と握手ができてよかったよ。
thank you for worrying about me, but anyway, I'm glad I was able to shake hands with so many people at the redemption celebration.
握手って素敵な文化だよね。 手を握っただけなのに、なんだか私の気持ちまで相手に伝わっているみたいで。
Shaking hands is such a wonderful practice. Just holding the other person's hand can almost make you feel like your feelings are reaching them.
タツさん、本当に嬉しそう。具合も悪そうじゃないし、心配するほどの怪我じゃないのかも。
Tatsu looks so happy. He doesn't seem ill either, so it's must not be an injury worth worrying about.
はあ、
タツさん、どうしたの？仕事で嫌なことでもあった？
Is something the matter, Tatsu? Did something bad happen at work?
いや、そうじゃないんだけど、無性に猫又小僧が恋しくなってしまってね。
Not that. It's just suddenly I missed the Nekomate boy.
猫又小僧って、タツさんが尊敬している泥棒
The
さんよね。
idea, though, right? Like,
でも今はもう活動してないんでしょ？
okay. It's just moving the screen. It was overlapping too much for me. All right. Yeah, he's the thief you respect, but isn't he
うん、
inactive?
今の私があるのも、瑠璃子と出会えたのだって、猫又小僧のおかげなんだけどね。
It's thanks to him that I was able to meet you and that I became the person I am
もう一
today.
度、猫又小僧の活躍が見たいな。
If only I could see him in action one more
タツ
time.
さん、
Tatsu, why?
このままタツさんの元気がなくなったら、仕事もやる気がなくなって、身請けの時期が遠のいちゃうかも。
Seems weird. It really does. Like, this does not seem like the right motivation. Gosh, he misses a vigilante. If this goes on, Tatsu might be less energetic and lose motivation for work. That could end up delaying my redemption
早
too.
くタツさんと一緒に暮らすためには、タツさんに元気を出してもらわないといけないのに。
I have to cheer Tatsu up if I want to hurry up and live with him.
そうだ。私が猫又小僧になればいいんだ。
I know. I should become the Netomate boy.
確かにあんた、そんなこと言ってたな。
Oh yeah, I remember you saying something like that.
結局捕まっちゃったけどね。猫又小僧の真似事をしているときに、私もタツさんと同じあざができちゃって。
Ended up getting arrested in the end, though. When I imitated the Nekomate boy, I eventually got the same bruise as
でも
Tatsu.
私は形人だし、梅毒にかかっても死なないからって放置してたら、じわじわ進行していったんだ。
But I'm a foreign folk, so even if I contracted syphilis, I wouldn't die. At least that's what I thought. I left it alone and it started slowly progressing.
それであなたたちに捕まって、頭が真っ白になって、
And then I
死
got
んだ
caught
と
by
思った
you.
ら生き返ってたわ。
My mind went blank just when I thought I'd die, I came back to life.
捕まった時にあざが首筋でつながったんだろうな。それでルリ子は良いかになった。
When you were captured, the bruise must have connected to your neck, and that's when you became a Blightfall.
やっぱり瑠璃子を天女の羽衣に感染させたのはタツさんだったんだな。瑠璃子、タツさんを恨んだっていいんだぞ。
Ah, so Tatsu was the one who infected you with the celestial maiden robes. Ruriko, feel free to hate him all you want.
タツさんを恨むなんてできない。だってタツさんは毎日お見舞いに来てくれたんだもん。
There's no way I could hate Tatsu. I mean, Tatsu's been visiting me every day. Ruriko, you were conscious?
ぼんやりとだけどね。タツさん、最初は私のことを心配するようなことを言ってたんだけど、
But everything was foggy. In the beginning, Tatsu talked about how he was worried about me,
仲
but
間を増やすとか、そうすれば私が助かるみたいなことを言うようになっちゃって。
then he started saying things like, I'll find more companions, and if I do that, I can
天
save
女の
you.
羽衣の感染者が増えてるのは、もしかしたら私を助けるために。
Maybe more people are getting infected because he wanted to save me.
これで決まりだな。辰之助はルリ子を救うために動いている。
Then that's it. Tatsunosuke is trying to save Ruriko. Well, we did that.
感染者を増やしてどうして瑠璃子が助かるんだ？増えてるけど瑠璃子は目を覚まさなかったじゃん。
Why would it save Ririko when he infected more people? She didn't wake up even when there were more infected.
酔いかかして言動がおかしくなっているんだろう。だが、これで達之助はルリ子がいるところに現れる可能性が高くなった。
His words and actions must have become more unhinged because he became a Blightfall, but now there's a high chance that Tatsunosuke will appear where Ririko is.
それならルリ子をおとりにすればいいじゃん。
So then we should just use her as bait.
清彦をおびき寄せようとしたように、今度はタツさんに罠を仕掛けるんだよ。
It's like how we lured in Kiyohiko. This time, we'll set up a trap for Tatsu
それ
instead.
で罠にかかったタツさんをあんたに治療してもらえば事件解決じゃん。
And then when Tatsu's in the trap, Leah can cure him. Problem
ま
solved.
ルリ子も協力してくれるだろ。
Hey, Ririko, you'll cooperate with us, right?
私はあなたに2度も命を救ってもらったんだし、今度は私が協力する番よね。
Leah saved my life twice now, so this time it's my turn to help you all out.
それに、あなたの力は自分で証明済みだもの。あなたなら、タツさんを救ってくれる。
And you've already proved that your
私も協力させて。
powers worked on me. I believe you can save Tatsu. Let me help you.
ルリ子の協力があるのなら話は早い。問題は達之助をどこにおびき出すかだな。
If we have your cooperation, then there's no time to waste. Now we just need to figure out how to lure out Tatsunosuke.
タツさんが侵入しやすく、かつ逃げにくい場所ってことだろ。ここは見張りがいるし、侵入しやすくはないよな。
It should be somewhere easy for Tatsu to break in, but difficult to escape. This place has guards, so it's not the best.
それなら歌舞伎の芝居小屋はどうです？
In that case, why not use the Kabuki Theater? Kinji, who had not participated in the conversation until now, made this
あそ
suggestion.
こなら途中入場もしやすいですし、舞台から入り口を見ることもできます。
It's quite easy to enter in the middle of a show there, and the entrance is visible from the stage
辰
as
之
well.
助さんが入ってきたのが分かったら、すぐ客席に待機しているお庭番に合図をして、辰之助さんを捕らえてもらいましょう。
Once I see that Tatsunosuke has entered, I shall immediately signal the Oniwaban, waiting in the audience, and have them capture him.
そうなるとルリ子には客として入ってもらい、近くにお庭番を配置する形になるな。
In that case, we'll have Ruriko act as a member of the audience and place some Oniwaban near her. Imagine still having stage performances in the middle of all this.
いい案だと思うけど、芝居小屋だと広すぎない？それにタツさんが必ずルリ子のところに行くかわかんないし。
I think it's a good idea, but isn't a theater too big? And there's no guarantee that Tatsu will actually go to where Ruriko
俺
is.
たちに気づいて逃げられたら、広い芝居小屋だと追いかけて捕まえるのも。
If he notices us and makes a break for it, chasing him somewhere as big as the theater is just gonna be... Suddenly, the guard let out a loud yell. All of us turned around as one to see what was the matter.
あざが消えた。
The bruise. My bruise disappeared.
あざって、あんたも天女の羽衣の感染者だったんだ。
Bruise? You mean you were infected with the celestial maiden
ああ、
robes?
つい最近感染して、俺も化け物になるんだって夜も眠れなかったのに。
Yeah, I got infected recently. I was so scared becoming a monster. I hadn't gotten a wink of sleep. But I fully cured. Over and over, the guard rubbed his now blemish-free arm and cried tears of joy. That explains the jealous look he was giving Ruriko.
ルリ子を治療したのに、なんで見張りまで治ったんだ？
How come the guard was cured when you were killing Ruriko?
こいつから発せられた光はここら一帯を覆っていた。それでおこぼれに預かったのかもしれないな。
The light she gave off covered the entire area. He must have got the residual effects. I was hoping it was more like Ruriko infected him, so if you heal someone who infected other people, then it heals the other people.
腕を見せなさい。
Show me your arm. Hearing that someone else other than Ruriko had been healed, Kinji became pale and grabbed my arm.
キンジ、何慌ててるんだよ。
What's up with you, Kinji? Kinji ignored Otaru's voice and rolled up my sleeve. Because I healed both Ruriko and the guard, the celestial maiden robes had advanced quite a bit. However, it hasn't changed much, has it? It only progressed as much as when I healed the one Komuro.
変わらないとはどういうことだ？俺たちにも説明しろ。
What exactly do you mean by change? Give us an explanation. When I use this power, my celestial maiden robes progresses. When I healed the Kimura, my bruise grew bigger. Since I healed 2 people at the same time, it should have progressed
これ
even
は自
more.
分の憶測だが、天女の羽衣の侵食が進むのは治療した人数ではなく、そ
That
の
means
力を使用した回
everyone,
数なんじゃないの
hands in the
か。
middle. This is just my hypothesis, but the progression of the illness may be tied to how many times you use it rather than how many people you heal.
清彦、冴えてるじゃん。そうだよ。1回しか使ってないんだから、あんたが侵食されたのは1回分なんだよ。
Nice thinking, Kiyohiko. That must be it. You only used it once, so it only advanced by that one
見張り
time.
の男が感知した状況からすると、お前が対象に触れていなくても問題ないようだ。
Judging from how the guard has been completely healed, it seems like touching the person you're healing isn't the
つま
requirement.
りたった1回。その力を使うだけで、大勢の命を救えることになる。
Which means you should be able to save many people with a single use of your power. Nice. The celestial maiden robes have only gotten up to my elbow. Even if I use it again, I shouldn't turn into a blightfall. I need them to show these robes again because the last time we saw them, they looked like the bandit marks. Like, do I even... When was this? When did we talk about these? There it is. Yeah, like these just look like stripes on an arm. No, wait, that's his actual... That's him being a criminal. Oh my god, my voice just cracked. Did I take a screenshot? Did I forget to take a screenshot? Bro, where's this guy? I guess I didn't take a screenshot of the marks. I thought I did. Well, anyways, last time they showed it, it looked like it wasn't like going up, 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 up. I need to see it on her body specifically because also like, come on, I need to understand this better. Have a CG with it showing, please. Then how about gathering a lot of patience in the theater? When I see Tatsunosuke enter, I'll activate my power. On top of saving a lot of people at once, I could also cure Tatsunosuke. It would be killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
いいな、そのんで。
Yeah, let's go with that.
ダメです。
No.
あなたのその力についてはまだまだ未知数です。たった1回、2人同時に治せたからといって、決行するのは無謀すぎます。
Kinji, you're raining on my parade. I need you to calm down. Your powers are still clouded in mystery. It would be more than reckless to go with such a plan simply because you're able to heal 2 people at once.
一度に治す人数に限界があったらどうするんです？
What if there's a limit to how many people you can cure at once? Then what?
天女の羽衣が一気に進行して、あなたの身が危うくなるような作戦を容認するわけにはいきません。
I cannot approve of a plan that may cause your illness to progress even faster and put you in danger. This is the only way. To save Tatsunosuke and everyone in Edo, I have to use the power of the Hatsuseki clan. It was because of this power that I joined the Onuaban in the first place. I'm not going to hesitate now out of some desire for self-preservation.
人間は自分の身が一番可愛いものです。そんな人たちのために、あなたが犠牲になる必要はないと言っているんです。
Humans are self-preserving creatures. What I'm trying to say is that there's no need for you to sacrifice yourself in order to save others.
ああ、ちょっと落ち着けよ、キンジ。
Your Buddha actually looks almost pleased, which is surprising because he's been the one to say let's murder everybody all the time. Just calm down for a second,
こいつの
Kinji.
言う通り、他に方法はないんだ。辰之助を正気に戻しても、天女の羽衣を感知させる方法がわからなければ、こいつを頼ることになる。
As Leah says, there's no other way. Even if we return Tatsunosuke to normal, if there's no way to cure the illness, then we must rely on her.
だったら、初めから感染した奴らと一緒に辰之助も浄化した方が、こいつへの負担も少ない。
If that's the case, it would be less of a burden on her if we simply purified Tatsunosuke with the other infected right from the start.
こんなこと、自分が言うまでもなく、お前ならわかるだろう。それを感情的に責めて、今のお前はキコではなく人間のようだぞ。
I shouldn't have to say this for you to understand, so cut it out with the emotionally charged argument. You seem more human than Vessel right now. Kinji shut his mouth at Yabuda's sharp observation. vessels that regain their hearts will be eliminated. We have to avoid Kinji becoming viewed with any more suspicion. So Yubura and Otaro, you two agree with this plan? It would be better to implement it as soon as possible, so we should do it
そう
tomorrow.
焦るな。お前の案が採用されるだろうが、この件を他のお庭番に報告。その上でそれぞれの区画担当の配置を決めることになるだろう。
Don't rush things. I'm sure the plan will be accepted, but first we need to report this to the other members. Then we decide who is in charge of that what
それと
district.
この件を全てお前任せにするつもりはない。お前の力の効果範囲が広がるよう、幕府お抱えの陰陽師たちに協力してもらうつもりだ。
Besides, we have no intention of leaving this entire case to you. We'll be asking the soothsayer of the shogunate to help expand your power area of
お
effect.
う、霊符を使うの？
Oh, are we going to use a talisman? An amulet-like object, talisman created by the shogunate's residential soothsayer, have an amplifying effect on one's snow sacrament. Talisman?
原理はよくわかんないけど、持っている人に神聖な力をより強く感じさせるような効果があるみたい。
Yeah, I don't really get the logic behind them, but apparently whoever holds one is more strongly affected by holy power.
だから普通の人が持っていれば守護する力が強まる。逆に良いかに貼ったら注ぎの威力が増幅されるみたいな。
If a normal person holds one, the power of protection is strong, but if you place it on a Blightfall, it enhances the snow sacrament power. Kinda.
あれを客に持たせれば、あんたの力が芝居小屋全体に行き渡るはずだよ。
If everyone in the audience held them, your power should be able to reach the whole theater. Got it. So we need little fans.
俺たちお庭番も何があってもいいよ。お前の近くで待機する。お前は安心して自分の責務を全うしろ。
Us Onuaban will also be standing near, but just in case anything happens, you only need to worry about your own task. Yes. If everyone is helping me, then I'll be able to save the people infected by Tatsunosuke. His powerful statement was encouraging and proved that I wasn't alone. A few bell hours later, the member of the secret Onuaban had gathered at the base. We told them what happened at the jailhouse, so the next meeting was decided only everyone's role for tomorrow, as well as the order of events. Originally, we had planned to meet earlier, but after having to deal with those who turned into Blightfall, the meeting had been delayed to this hour.
これより明日、どの区画が何を担当するか伝える。
I will now announce who will be in charge of which district tomorrow.
まず城下町組だが、江戸全域を見回ってもらいたい。この状況で良いかが発生しないとも限らない上、芝居小屋に入り損ねた感染者もいるかもしれない。
First off, the Castletown team will patrol around Ito. There's no telling if Blightfall will appear, and there may be other infected, but we may have missed. There may be other infected that we may have missed.
場合によっては、注ぎをしてもらうか、芝居小屋に誘導してもらうことになる。
Depending on the situation, we'll have you perform Snow Sacrament or guide them to the theater.
連絡は表のお庭番を使って逐一入れるので、その指示に従ってくれ。
We'll maintain contact through members of the public Oniwaban, so follow their order.
次に武家町組だが、芝居小屋近くで見張りをしてくれ。芝居小屋で何かあれば即座に突入。辰之助が誘い込まれたら取り押さえる役割も担うことになる。
Next up is the Samurai Town team. I want you to guard around the theater. Your duty is to provide support and arrest Tatsunosuke once he's lured inside.
ここには俺がいるので、何かあればその都度臨機応変に対応することにもなるだろう。
This is where I will be, so if anything happens, we should be able to change our plan on the fly.
最後に娯楽街組だが、今回の肝ともいえる作戦を実行してもらう。
Lastly, the entertainment district team will execute the plan that is central to this whole
キンジは
operation.
舞台の上で観客全員を監視。清彦は瑠璃子の護衛。大太郎には辰之助の侵入が確認されたら彼女に知らせてもらう。
I have eyes, okay? I can see if he enters. I don't need Otaro to do my job for me. Kinji will observe the entire audience from the stage, Kikyohiko will guard Yuriko, and Otaro will let Leah know if Tatsunosuke enters.
そしてお前は辰之助が確保された後に浄化の力で辰之助を含めた観客全員を浄化。
Once Tatsunosuke is captured, we will purify everyone in the audience with your power, including
ちなみに
Tatsunosuke.
お前たちから報告があった大門での町民による検問だが幕府の命ですでに撤収させてある。
Incidentally, the Milatia checkpoint that you reported seeing in the front gate has already been disbanded per the Shogunite's
これ
order.
で遊郭にいる感染者も問題なく芝居小屋に入れるだろ
So the infected in the red light district should be able to enter the theater
う。
without
今回の
issue.
事件はこれまでと違ってかなり厄介だ。辰之助を止められなかった場合、最悪江戸の外までこの病が広まってしまうだろう。
Unlike our previous cases, this one has been quite troublesome. Worst case scenario, this disease will spread beyond Edo if we do not stop Tatsunosuke.
そうなってしまっては江戸だけでなく大和という国が滅びてしまう。
If that happens, Edo won't be the only problem. The entirety of the nation will call Yadamoto will fail.
そうさせないために俺たちがいる。我らは吉宗様に選ばれた者たちだ。我らならこの事件を解決できる。
What are you made from, bro? That's why we are here. Lord Yoshimun chose us. We are the ones who will solve this
みんな
case.
気を引き締めて任務に当たれ。
Brace yourself, soldiers. We've got work to do. At Kiyoshiro's words, everyone in the room nodded
すべては
simultaneously.
明日決まる。しっかり休息をとって明日に備えるように。
It all comes down to tomorrow. Rest up and be prepared. That was our signal to disperse. We filed out of the room with those closest to the entrance leaving first. It all comes down to tomorrow. I also stood up and left the room after the others. No cute scene with Kinji being worried about us. Rude. Phew. When I opened the window, I saw the moon glimmering and shining. I sat on the tatame and stared up at the moon, which hovered in the cloudless sky. Even though I have to hurry up and prepare for sleep, I don't really feel like it. Before I came to Edo, I would always stare at the moon from my room just like this. Unlike in Edo, there wasn't any sort of entertainment in the mountains, so the only thing to do to curb my boredom was to look up at the sky. I wonder if it's snowing over there where I used to live. I sure hope the villagers are taking proper care of my father's grave. As I thought that, the sliding door behind me opened. Kinji? I turned around and widened my eyes in surprise when I saw Kinji standing there. I thought you went
こん
home.
な時間ですし止めてもらうことにしたんですよ。
Considering how late it is, I've decided to stay here for tonight. As he said that, Kinji came closer and then sat down beside me. We were so close that even the slightest movement would make our shoulders touch, and I was so nervous that my entire body
そんなに
stiffened
身
up.
構えなくても僕たちは床を共にした関係でしょ。
No need to be so tense. We've slept together before, have we not? We have not? We only slept next to each other?
冗談ですよ。
It was a joke. As he chuckled, he stroked my cheek. It seemed that Kinji was toying with me again. It had been a while since he had teased me.
腕を見せてもらっても。
May I see your arm? Are you gonna yell at me again? I nodded and pulled back my sleeve. The celestial maiden robes had progressed a little after purifying Yoriko and the guard, but there hadn't been any change.
作戦を辞退するつもりはないんですね。
So you have no intention of backing out of this plan? I don't.
あなたが辞めるというまでどこかに閉じ込めてもいいんですよ。それとも二人で江戸を出てしまいましょうか。
Don't act like Lucas right now. I can lock you up somewhere until you say you won't do it. Or Perhaps the two of us should leave
野
Ito.
暗に紛れて逃げれば気づかれません。もし気づかれたとしても、僕なら撃退できます。
If we escape under the cover of night, no one shall notice. And even if we are, I can defeat them. I can't do that. Like earlier, I gave an immediate response. Even if we were to leave Ito, the celestial maiden robes will continue to spread beyond the city unless we purify it. And you're not the type of person who'd run away and abandon your friends.
買いかぶりすぎです。僕はあなたさえ無事でいればいい。そういう利己的な貴子なん。
You give me far too much credit. I'm a selfish vessel who only cares about your safety. That's not true. Someone who sacrifices their own body while fighting could never be selfish. I fully understand why you're worried. Still, I want to save everyone in Ito with this power. After a pause, Kinji let out a sigh.
天女の羽衣が進行するような力は、本当に必要な時以外は使わないでください。
If your powers cause the celestial maiden robes to regress, do not use them unless it's truly
力を使って辛かったり、苦しくなったらすぐにやめること。約束できますね。
If it becomes painful or difficult, you must quit immediately. Surely you can promise me that. I can't. It may be presumptuous of me to say it this way, but I'm the only person who can save everyone in Ito. I'm also scared that I'll become a Blightfall myself if that happens. Can I trust you to perform the snow sacrament on me?
ひどいことを頼むんですね。
What a horrible thing to ask of someone. I'm sorry, but you're the only person I can think of asking.
ずるい人です。そんな言い方をされたら嫌だと言えなくなるじゃないですか。
You're not being fair. If you say it like that, you know I cannot refuse. After he said that, Kinji closed his mouth, a troubled expression still on his face. Did he think of me as a child who could not listen to reason? But even if Kinji was against it, this was the one thing that I would not back down on. I stared at Kinji with that thought in mind. After some time, he let out a deep sigh.
わかりました。僕の負けです。
I understand. You win. Really?
ええ。僕がどれだけ言っても、あなたは僕の意見を受け入れたりしない。それがよくわかりましたので。
No matter what I say, you will not listen to my opinion. I understand that more than ever now. I'm sorry.
謝らないでください。僕だって、それが一番いいことくらい。
Please do not apologize.
本当はちゃん
Anyone
とわかっているんです。
can see that your plan is the best option, even I. I'll probably splice these together post, so. Alright, perfect. Here's where we're at. Alright, this is where it crashed. Unlike before, Kinji looked so much forlorn, like he had given up on something. My chest felt tight. I felt regretful that I had to treat him this way, even though he was only worried about me, and I unconsciously lowered my gaze. Then Kinji held my hand tightly with the utmost care. When I felt that, I looked up at him. Ooh.
あなたが覚悟を決めたのなら、僕もそれを受け入れないといけませんね。
They put a lot of vacant spots around this. I am here lurking, and did something happen to the stream? Yeah, the stream crashed, but my thing... I'm liking OBS because unlike Streamlabs, it tells me. So I caught it pretty quickly, but it just went down. I thought something had gone wrong with my internet connection, but my internet was fine. It's rained the last couple of days, so if my internet does go down, I'd probably be because something from that. If that is your final decision, I should respect it.
もし酔いかかしたら、僕があなたを止めます。ですから、
You become a
あなたは
Blightfall,
任務に集中しなさい。
then I shall stop you. So please focus on your
期
mission.
待していますよ。
I expect great things from you, Leah. Just now he said that he expected great things from me. I remembered that what I was told when I infiltrated the brothel, and joy welled up within me. Yes, I won't let you down. For Kinji, who believed in me, and more importantly for the people suffering from the celestial maiden robes. Under the moonlight, I once again vowed to do the very best that I could. Game needs to stop playing with me, basically. The next day, look at all these dainty people. It was finally time. Also, why couldn't these be like people we meet in town? You know what I mean? Like, we got all their backs. Flip them around. Give them small faces. Over 1,000? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. I'm counting like 50 on this side alone, so that's not 1,000. And there's an empty seat next to that guy in the next row. I don't know why they wouldn't squeeze them all in. Over 1,000 people were stuffed into the theater, many of them eating food and drinking merrily. After the celestial maiden's robes had spread, pastimes such as these had become few and far between. As such, it appeared that many people had come to see the play, of course. Among the crowd were infectees and those who suspected that they were infected. Those people were gathered in front to the front seats. In that moment, I saw Yabuda amidst the crowd. Next to him, I could see Ruriko. Like he had discussed the day previously, Yabuda was guarding Ruriko. Meanwhile, Kinji was on standby backstage for preparation. That's good. It looks like they passed all the talismans. Apparently, they were handed out to everyone as a protective ward. That meant that there were people wearing theirs close to their bodies like a ward, as well as people who carelessly placed them on the tatami. As I observed the audience, I walked to my seat and then...
おや、あんたも来ていたんだね。
Oh my, if it isn't Leah. Okuni. I walked through the crowd and approached Okuni. Hello.
こんにちは。
Hello. It seemed that Okuni's Komodo were here with her as well. Hello. I smiled at the two of them and patted their
今回の
heads.
公演で天女の羽衣が完治するって聞いてね。こうして義郎の子たちも連れてきたんだよ。
I heard that the celestial maiden robes would be cured at this performance, so I brought some of the girls from the brothel. Wow, thank you so much. I expressed my gratitude to Okuni and sat next to her. My seat was in the center so that my power of purification could reach the entirety of the theater. Too bad Okuni's evil. The two Komuros sat to Okuni's left. After a while, the lights started being put out one by one. It's finally happening. Kinji and the other actors had been waiting behind the scenes.
会うに会われぬその時はこの世ばかりの約束か。三途の川はせく人もせかれる人もござんすまい。
When they introduced him in the prologue, he could have been dressed like this. I'm sure they saved it for this moment, but they showed him dressed like this in his CG for his introduction, and I feel like they did me a disservice. Why would you put RR? Are our meanings a promise limited to the mortal realm? The river Styx cannot stop anyone, nor can anyone stop it. I remembered that Kinji had said this exact line during a rehearsal. At the time, he hadn't been wearing a courtesan costume, but now that he was, his seductiveness was hard to ignore. Deathly attracted to Kinji dressed in a kimono. I couldn't help but forget about the mission. My ears were glued to Kinji with the rest of the audience. As if to pull me back to reality, someone probed my shoulder from behind. I turned around and met Otaro's eyes.
あれ見て。
Look over there. Otaru was pointing at someone who appeared to be Tatsunosuke. Behind him were Tomonari and Tojo. who looked like they were about to arrest Tatsunosuke at any moment.
待ってました
Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Woohoo! Nice! Good job, kid! The audience suddenly let out cheers, which I assume meant that a popular actor had appeared on stage.
Tomonari, 今だ
Tomonari now! Using the cheering crowd as a cover, Tomonari and Tojo leapt at Tatsunosuke.
おとなしくしろ
Stop moving. Perhaps Tojo's threat had worked, as Tatsunosuke was staying still without even trying to resist. Yeah, right. If I'm going to do it, then I have to do it now. I turned to the front, placed a hand on my chest, and focused my consciousness. I pray that everyone who has been infected by the celestial maiden robes can be healed, and then I felt a slow warmth coming from within my body as if a fire was being lit. Until now, my body would become hot and emanate a light immediately, but it might be difficult to use my powers because there are so many people. In that case, all I had to do was pray harder. Harder now. I'm begging you, save everyone from the disease with my power. Light spilled out from my hands and slowly started to spread.
羽衣が消えたぞ
The robes, they
俺も
disappeared.
消えたはあ神様ありがとうございます
Mine's disappeared too. Oh god, thank you. Cheers started to rise from seats in the front. The power of purification is working properly, but I can't let down my guard just yet. If I'm going to save everyone, then I really need to pray even more. I have to save lots of people. I have to save everyone here. The range of the purification had started spreading as I gathered from hearing cheers coming from the back. If I can keep this up. But I felt a slight pain in my back of my head. Stray thoughts started to mix with my prayers. The heat felt as though it was boiling my body, but there was no way I could end my prayers here. I pray that everyone's disease will be cured and that they can live a life of peace and happiness. The light enveloped the entirety of the theater.
おおタツさんも浄化されてきたっぽい
Looks like Tatsu is also purified. Otaru's words let me know the light can even reach Tatsunosuke, but I still can't relax. Tatsunosuke was the first case of the celestial maiden robes. In other words, he was the culprit. Unless I prayed even more, I might not be able to fully purify him. I pray that Tatsunosuke... Kuni? You alright, little evil lady? The next moment, a scream rose from beside me, and I was so startled that I lost concentration. When I looked next to me, Okuni was hugging herself with both hands and letting out a terrible scream.
姉さんどうしたの
Big sister, what's wrong?
しっかりして
Big sister, hang in there. The two Komoros rubbed Okuni's back. Okuni wasn't infected with the celestial maiden robes. Did my prayers cause some weird side effect? Suddenly, a powerful gust of wind whipped up around Okuni. As I was near Okuni, the gust almost blew me away, but Otaru, oh, there we go. Leah. Thanks to Otaru grabbing my hand, I was spared from being caught up in the winds. Otaru, as I was about to say my thanks, an unbelievable scene appeared before my eyes. Black threads stretched all over the theater walls. Audience members caught in the threads hung from the ceiling.
黒い糸が
Black threads? A strung-up audience member attempted to escape, but by struggling with his arms and legs. The black threads tightened around his body and he fell unconscious shortly after. The same scene was playing out. Oh. 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 Okuni, who was the guy you liked? Like, what's his name? Why'd he come in through a window? Is he a little sneaky snake? Is he a little snake? Just happened, my computer just acted weird. Everything's fine. Your friends aren't lost in the woods. Do I not have? Okay. The same scene was playing out every which way I looked. When I looked closer, it seemed that they weren't just passing out the black threads, were also draining them of their energy. A pale light that emitted from the captured civilians was absorbed by the black threads. It was not so fast that they would die immediately, but it was easy to imagine that if we'd left them alone, they would surely wither and perish. You've got to be kidding. What a pain. Otaru unsheathed his wakizashi and sliced out the black threads that were trying to wrap around us. Otaru, you can see the black threads too?
Huh? これがあんたの言ってた黒い糸なんだな。
Yeah, so these are the black threads you've been talking about? Speaking of which, one of the audience members also mentioned black threads. Oh right, where's Odiko and Tatsunosuke?
ルリコ、そこから絶対動くなよ。
Look at him being a little hero, a little champ. Look at these Neko boys. Anyways, Ruriko, don't move from there no matter what.
Hi!
Okay.
はあ
Yep. Yep. Yep, yep. Oh no. Kinji's not joining. It seems that the two of them were fine, thanks to everyone in the Oniwa bond slashing away the black threads approaching them.
まったくこんなことになるなんてね。
She's so cute! Oh my gosh! Look at her. Look at that little nightmare. Love it. My word, to think that it would all come to this. Okuni. Her breathing ragged, Okuni pushed her messy hair behind her ears. The refined movement was so beautiful that even I felt my heart skip a beat. But on her face was a mask, the telltale sign of a blight
に
fall.
しても入り口で配られたお守り、何か細工がされていたんだね。それにあんたにこんな力があるなんて知らなかったよ。
Gosh, Okuni, I'm having trouble looking at you. I feel like how MC feels about Kinji right now. Those wards you handed out at the entrance. There must have been some sort of clever trick involved. I didn't even know you had this kind of power. She threw the talisman onto the ground and smiled seductively.
まさかこんな大勢を浄化できるなんて大したもんじゃないか。敵ながら感心しちまうよ。
To purify such a large number of people is quite the feat. I'm quite impressed, even if we are enemies. Huh? Okuni is an enemy? Girl, she had the telltale I'm an enemy eye. I need to find the chapter where we got introduced to her, because I'm pretty sure that's the first thing I said was, she's a villain, isn't she? Okuni transformed into a blightfall, was standing right in front of me, so it must have been true. But even so, my mind couldn't process it fast enough.
化け物が出たぞ
That is a beautiful Bakemono. You better calm down. A monster has appeared. As that happened, oddly enough, a large crowd of townsfolk came pouring in from outside the
ほ
theater.
ら、またお客さんか。
Oh my, we have more guests. Okuni would not miss that chance. One by one, she ensnared them with black threads and instantly rendered them unconscious. Why is everyone running into a place as dangerous as this?
おい、外に巨大な酔いかが出現した。俺たち
Oh,
も
they
完
weren't
成する
calling
から
Okuni a
ここ
nightmare.
は頼
Got
んだ
it.
ぞ。
A giant blightfall has manifested outside. We're going in as reinforcements, so I'm leaving this to you. Have fun fighting the blightfall that can talk with a face mask that killed almost everyone last time we ran into one of these. Of course, it was one of our guys, but it was still a person, and he still had a mask. After realizing what was going on outside, the entire samurai town team ran out.
くそ、まさか同時に2体も良いかが出るとは。
Crap, I didn't expect two blightfall to appear at the same
ルリ
time.
コ、達之助の元まで一気にかけるぞ。
Ruriko, we're going to make a break for Tatsunosuke's position. Shibuda used his sword to cut the black threads, as he went over to Tatsunosuke with Oriko. Tatsu! Man, look at this. This looks like a horror movie poster right there. When I spotted Tatsunosuke, Ririko raced over towards him. Tatsu, please!
そういえば、あの男はルリコのマブだったね。
If I recall correctly, that man must be Ruriko's
あ
lover.
んたが浄化しなけりゃ、ルリコもあの男も仲良く良いかになれたのに。こんな結果になって残念だよ。
If you hadn't purified him, Ruriko, and that man would have lived happily as Blightfall together. Unfortunate that it's come to this. Okuni, you were the one who transformed Tatsunosuke? Why would you do something like that? Why is a Blightfall rampaging
仲
outside?
間を増やすためさ。外にいるのは私のマブだよ。あんたも声だけは聞いたことがあるだろ？
To add more to our ranks, of course. The one outside is my lover. You heard his voice before,
いつ
remember?
も幽霊のようにふわふわして姿が見えないけど、いざという時はああして助けてくれるのさ。
He's always flighty and invisible like a ghost, but when push comes to shove, he always comes to my rescue just like he's doing now. So the culprit behind the string of Blightfall cases wasn't Tatsunosuke, it was Okuni. But how did she increase the number of infected? That must mean that it wasn't the good luck charm that infected people with the celestial maiden robes, right? Tatsu, are you awake?
この声はルリコか？
That voice, is that Ririko? Yes! Yes, I'm here. I'm so glad you're awake. Purification seemed to have completed without issue. Overcoming with emotion, Ririko hugged Tatsunosuke. Tatsunosuke was also about to return the embrace when his eyes suddenly widened.
私はこれまで一体何を？
What have I done?
お前、自分が何をしたのか記憶があるのか？
Do you remember any of it?
はい。おぼろげながら覚えています。
It's foggy, but I remember.
ある日を境に記憶が飛ぶようになって、それから多くの人に幸せのおまじないをしなくてはと考えるように。
One day I started to lose track of my memories and I felt an urge to perform the good luck charm on many people.
ある人はいつからだ？
Which day was that,
ルリコ
man?
の身請けをルリコの勤めている技能の人間に報告してからだったと思います。確かあの時、みんなと握手して。
I think it was after I reported Ririko's redemption to the people at the brothel she worked at. I believe I shook hands with everyone.
あの人ともしました。
And I also shook hands with that woman over there. He said that Tatsunosuke pointed at Okuni.
そうさ、私があんたの手を握って天女の羽衣に感染させたんだよ。
You're right. I held your hand and infected you with the celestial maiden.
辰之助にはおとりになってもらったんだ。幸せのおまじないなんてただ目立たせるためにやらせてみただけさ。
I had you act as a distraction. The good luck charm was nothing more than a ruse to make you stand out. So... And I had this thought, I don't think I voiced it, like, it's, you could tell they were in love, right? Like, there was pink, blushing lights or threads around him. So, like, that was the first indicator that something was weird with him being the bad guy, right? Because he genuinely did love the girl. And then he started acting strange. And she's got evil eyes.
この様子だと、あんたたちも辰之助が下手人だと思っていたみたいだし。
Judging by your
一応
expression,
目論見は成功していたようだね。
Judging by your expressions, it appeared that you also believed Tatsunosuke was the culprit. I think I can call that a success.
天女の羽
Yeah,
衣
but they also thought that
私と手を
their
握り合わ
captain
な
was the
い限り
Nekomate boy,
感染しないっていうのにね。
even though he clearly wasn't. Even though you can't get infected with the celestial maiden robes unless you hold my hand. Hold her hand. Oh no.
私たちもあんな風になっ大丈夫さあさあ表にそうだね
Flashback of all the people that were infected that she infected. If you wanted me to realize that one of the little girls was infected by her specifically, I think maybe, just maybe, hear me out, you should have gave them a name. That's how I was infected.
あなたが全ての元凶なのは分かりました。しかし擬態を解いてもあなたのように人の姿を保ったままのヨイカや外で暴れている巨大なヨイカは初めて見ますね。
I see now that you're the true culprit, yet I've never seen a Blightfall who kept their human form after their disguise was lifted, nor as large as the one outside.
僕にあなたは何者なんですか?
Kuni, just who are you exactly?
そうだね
Let's see. Okuni smiled in a captivating manner as she made her way towards the stage. The kabuki stage, which women were forbidden from stepping
あん
upon.
たも知っての通り私は今も昔も出雲のお国の形人それ以外の何者でもないよ
As you well know, I am and always have been the form folk of Izumo no Okuni, the one and only. As soon as she spat out the words, Okuni began manipulating the robe she was wearing and assaulted Kinji.
Kinji!
Kinji? But before she could reach him, Otaru immediately tossed two wakizashis towards Kinji from below the stage.
助かります。
Thank you. Kinji deftly received them. The back also has birds on it. Oh! Using the guard of the sword he was handed, he met Okuni's blow.
おや意外とやるね
Oh, you're surprisingly skilled.
そう簡単にやられるわけがないでしょう。それよりあなた弱点はそのままでよかったんですか?
Of course, I would never go down so easily. More importantly, you shouldn't leave your weak point so exposed. In the next instant, Kinji unsheathed his sword and slashed at Okuni with godlike speed. Obviously, his target was the hairpin holding up her beautiful tied hair, her true form. He must have judged that aiming at her tag to save her life would be nigh impossible under these difficult circumstances. But the attack, too, was received with ease by her black robe.
いい立ち筋だねこれなら長く楽しめそうだ
Such beautiful swordsmanship. It looks like we'll be having plenty of fun. She cackled as she immediately doled out slashes with her robe. From every angle, her robe seemed to be made of soft cloth, yet each strike was rigid and powerful.
させないよ
I don't think so. Kinji and Okuni's battle was playing out on the stage. Okuni fought in a way that resembled the kabuki dance she had shown me before. She would flaunt her robe woven from black threads as if dancing. On the other hand, Kinji wielded his swords with complete control and parried Okuni's attacks. The exchange of strikes left no room to breathe as Okuni's robes spread out to protect her. It seemed as though Otaru couldn't find an opening to join in. In the next moment, Otaru ran off as if he had an idea. It's so beautiful. The battle between the founder and the darling child of Kabuki was astonishingly picturesque. Despite the situation, I found my breath being taken away. But the battle did not last for long. Before I knew it, the tables had turned as Okuni went on the offense. Kinji was left defenseless against her attacks. Panicked, I started praying when I sensed that Kinji was being pushed back. Please save Kinji, I'm begging you. No.
またこれかい。ああ、もう鬱陶しい。一気に蹴りをつけるよ。
This again, gods, it's so irritating. I'm gonna end this in one strike. As I thought my prayers were rather effective, Okuni's beautiful face twisted, and she attacked Kinji with even more aggression. Okuni shout out her robes towards him. It's supposed to be shot, isn't it? Okuni shot out her robes towards Kinji, but they were deflected by his blade. However, the deflected robe twisted like a living creature and attacked Kinji once again. Kinji was skillfully defending himself with his two blades, but Okuni was only using her left hand to attack. That's right, her non-dominant hand, and he was on the
あん
fence.
たに恨みはないけど、ここで死んでおくれ。
I have no grudge against you, but you die here. Okuni raised her right hand high in the air. Her robe twisted and turned as it attempted to attack Kinji from behind at blinding speed. At the last minute, he twisted his body and dodged the blow, but another rope forcibly struck his right arm. Kinji!
さようなら、Kinji.
Goodbye, Kinji. Okunu stroked the robe that returned to her and then raised her arm high. At this rate, Kinji, though I was still praying, it seemed that it wasn't enough to restrain Okuni's movements. I'll just have to pray harder then. Please protect Kinji. For a moment, I felt concerned about the celestial maiden robes, but there was no way I could ignore Kinji's peril. There was a piercing pain in the back of my head, and my body felt like it was being burned in a fire. But even so, I could not stop my prayer. From where I was standing, I heard Okuni's pained voice loud and clear, and as the strength behind her attack waned, Kinji was also able to dodge the blows. I'm so glad.
Oi! 俺のこと忘れてない?
Hey! Did you forget about me? And then I heard Otaro's voice from above my head. Though I wasn't sure when he had climbed up there, he was standing on top of the ceiling beam. That wasn't the only surprise. In his hands were an armful of lanterns. No way. One by one, he dropped all the lanterns he was holding. As soon as the lanterns hit the ground, they began to burn at an incredible speed, scattered around where what appeared to be bottles of oil, which he apparently threw as well. Man, we're looking more and more like Stranger Things. There was a strange barrier around the audience that prevented the fire from getting through. Right? If a normal person holds a talisman, it amplifies the holy power they receive. So that must be what's protecting them. And that's probably why Otaru did something so reckless. I didn't expect anything less from the soothsayer who created the vessels, the person who doesn't have a face, the person who we've never met in person and we've only talked about in third person because he's never actually actively in any of the scenes. The talisman amplified the power of my prayers, so I had nothing but gratitude for the Onyoban who had arranged for them. Look at that eye makeup. Look at this girl. She's so cool. With most of her source of power now burned up, Okuni fell to her knees.
どうだ?
Serves you right. Otaru proudly puffed out his chest.
よくもやってくれたね。
How dare you? Okuni gathered up the remaining of the black threads and created a blightfall-like weapon.
大太郎避けなさい
Otaru, dodge.
え
What? She threw the weapon straight at Otaru. Otaru immediately dodged it, but there was only so much he could do from where he was standing. Gah. He lost his footing and slipped off the beam, falling down towards the stage. I'm falling! As soon as he saw Otaru, Kinji stabbed one of his swords into the stage and ran. I got real concerned with the phrase stab just now. He then extended his free left arm to catch Otaru as he fell. What a love scene.
さすがキンジマジで助かった
I knew you could do it, Kinji. You're a lifesaver. Just to be clear, if you get caught from 7 feet down, right? Like if it's 8 feet, you get caught and there's like still 5 feet that you fell. You're about the same. It was a reckless move that only the physically capable Kinji could have pulled off. In the end, Otaru was safe. Kinji was about to return to his original position in order to retrieve his sword when...
今のはおとりさ。本命は。
You fell for my ruse. My true target is her.
あんただよ。
You, Leah. She's so cute. With those parting words, Okuni sent forth a bundle of black threads towards me. Leah! Kinji retrieved the sword that was stabbed into the floor and was about to slash at Okuni, but he was a moment too late. I can't dodge.
死ね
Die. That sounds so familiar. But at that moment, Otaru, who had already recovered, threw something from behind Kinji. It seemed that Otaru had thrown a kunai. As it sank deep into Okuni's shoulder, the black threads wrapped around me disappeared into dust. Another kunai was also thrown at her weak point, the hairpin, but her robes had managed to repel it. However, it was more than enough to create an opening while Kinji ran towards me.
僕の後ろに
Let Leah get behind me. Right.
しかし大太郎あなたがそんな飛び道具を使えるなんて知りませんでしたよ
Otaru, I was not aware that you could use throwing weapons such as
こっ
those.
そり練習してたんだでも残念郊外には当たんなかった
I was practicing in secret. It's a shame I didn't hit the hairpin, though.
やってくれるじゃないか。
Gah. You've done it now. Okuni ripped out the kunai and tossed it to the side before she started gathering black threads once again. And then let them loose towards Otaru. He must have used up all his kunais. What was that sound? I can't stop yawning. I should have made a coffee, but I was already running so late. I need caffeine. Left with no other choice, Otaru took the full force of the blow and fell off the stage. Gah. She then brought the black threads back to herself and once again tried to attack me, but Kinji used his sword to stop that.
彼女には指一本触れさせません
You will not lay a single finger on her. Kinji. The battle between the two increased in ferocity. I even thought I saw sparks flying. Kinji always protects me, so now it's my turn. As that feeling intensified, light began to pour out from my hands. As it slowly enveloped Kinji. Yeah. Kinji slashed through the weapon made of black threads and Okuni's eyes widened. Not wanting to waste the opportunity, Kinji followed up with a series of attacks.
お願いだよ、キンジ。私たちに勝たせておくれ。
Please, Kinji, let us win. Even so, Okuni didn't attempt to surrender. As she slowly backed away, she barely managed to parry his strikes with her robe.
何よ。今さら命乞いでもするつもりですか。
What's the matter? Do you really think you can beg for your life after what you've done?
そうじゃない、そうじゃないんだ。
That's not it. That's not what this is about.
キンジ、私たちは持ち主の分身として生きていくのが当然で、それを疑ったことはないだろう。
Kinji, you've always believed that we were incarnations of our owners, right? You've never doubted that fact.
疑う気持ちを持っちゃいけなかったんだ。だって私は出雲のお国の代理人で、あんたはかんざしの持ち主の代理人だ。
No, we weren't even allowed to doubt it because I'm the substitute of Izumo no Okuni and you're the substitute of that hairpin's
持
owner.
ち主の気持ちから生まれた以上、持ち主が望むままに生きていくのが私たち形人の務めだと思っていた。
As we're born from the feelings of our owners, I believed that it was our duty as form folk to live our owners' to live as our owners willed. Okuni spoke in a fervent voice, choked out from the back of her throat as she slashed at Kinji with her robe. But Kinji would immediately cut the cloth down.
でもね、あの人と出会って新しい生き方を知ったんだ。私は出雲のお国の代理人じゃなくて、ただのお国という一人の存在なんだって。
But when I met him, I found a new way of living. I realized that I'm not a substitute for Izumo no Okuni. I'm my own person. I'm just Okuni. I'm just Okuni.
あんただってそうだろ。この子と出会って女方の錦じゃなくて金次という一人の存在だって気づいたんじゃないのかい。
You felt the same way, haven't you? After you met Leah, you realized you weren't the Onigata kin. You
だ
realized
から私はこんなところで死ぬわけにはいかないんだよ。
that those two things didn't make sense. That's why I can't die in a place like this.
あの人と新たな道を歩むんだ。持ち主から意志を託された者同士。あんたなら私の気持ちが痛いほどわかるはずだよ。
I have to survive and walk a new path with him. We were both entrusted with our own owner's dying wills. You should understand this feeling all too well. As if to answer Okuni's pained cry, more black threads appeared from her body. Reinforcing her robes, Okuni used the last of her strength to engage in a fierce battle against Kinji. Is this like the character from Demon Slayer that actually is a... She's a Koda-san too, actually. Is this like that? Like, look at this entanglement.
そうです
Dabi, I
ね。
think that's her name. Dabi?
僕もあなたと同じで個人に縛り付けられていました。
That's right, like you, I too was tied down by the dead.
女より美しい男になれと命じられるまま女方を演じることしかできず、それを不幸に思うことも許されなかった。
Shadow on his neck looks like a hickey. Who's he making out with? I was told to become a man more beautiful than any woman. I could not play any role other than Onigata. I was not even allowed to feel unfortunate about it.
僕には事情があって心も封じられていましたし、あなたほどの葛藤はなかったんだと思います。
Due to certain circumstances, my heart was sealed away as well, so I suppose I was not as conflicted as you.
けれど彼女と出会い、感情のままに行動する彼女の姿を見て美しいと思う気持ちが芽生えました。
But then I met Leah, and when I saw her acting upon her emotions, I finally understood what it meant to be beautiful. Shut up, Kinji. I don't like compliments like that.
僕にあなたの気持ちがわかるからこそ、僕はここであなたを止めなければならないんです。
Okuni, it's because I know how you feel that I must put an end to you
僕
here.
はあなたを倒して彼女と未来に進みます。
Blush, Kinji. I will defeat you and continue living my life with Leah. I also just remembered I talked about how I had got a gift card for the eShop because Code Realize was on sale, and then I forgot to bring the card in here. And when I turned on my system this morning so I could play, I was reminded because it was still in the eShop, because I was like, I'm gonna buy this, and then I didn't. At the same time he uttered those words, Kinji once again cut down the robes. And finally, he cornered Okuni to the edge of the stage. It appeared that she could no longer weave together black threads. All that was left was to destroy her original tool, the hairpin, with the snow sacrament. Gah. At that moment, my heart thumped within my chest. Leah?
どうしたんですか?
What's the matter? I'm fine. Ooh, I'm seeing Aurora vision. I'm gonna have a migraine. My heart was beating loud and fast. My body became hotter and hotter, and I struggled to even breathe. It's so painful and hot. Painful, hot. I felt light and airy, like my feet weren't touching the ground. My head is spinning. Something hot was welling up from within me, ready to burst. I instinctively knew if this came out, then there was no going back. If that happened, then I... Leah, look at him. It burns, it's hot. The heat, it's hot, hot.
まさか
Sorry, I thought she said
天
that.
の羽衣が首でつながって、そんな嘘でしょ。
The celestial maiden robes connected to your neck. Impossible, this cannot be. Leah! Oh, I understand. I am... Gah. Ah! Purifier. I'm sorry. What did I mess up? Or was I supposed to distract her? Oh my god, she's so cute! Oh, what a cutie. You know what? I'm fine with this ending. Oh my goodness. Open your eyes, sweetheart. Leah had turned into a Blightfall. Leah was likely a special Blightfall like Okuni. Rather than the familiar shape of a spider, she stood there with the appearance of a human. I literally don't know where I made the wrong choice, by the way. And like Okuni, she was cloaked in robes knitted from black threads. As soon as her eyes opened, black threads shot out from Leah's body and enveloped the entirety of the playhouse. She had revived the threads that Otaru's quick thinking had managed to burn.
そういえば、大太郎は清彦さんや他の観客も無事だといいのだが。
Speaking of, where is Otaro? Where is he? Where is that boy? I just hope that Kiyohiko and the others members are safe. I looked around and spotted Otaro and Kikohiko hanging from black threads from the ceiling. Otaro! It seemed that they had been caught by the black threads that Leah shot out earlier. But it was not just the two of them. Tatsunosuke, Uriko, and the audience were all hanging from the ceiling.
彼女の力が奥によりも強いということか。
So that must mean that Leah is more powerful than Okuni. This is so cute. Leah tilted her head to the side. Where's her mask? Give her a cute mask. Why doesn't she have one? Her face was not wearing the familiar Blightfall mask. I know. It's a shame. The air around her was that of a Blightfall, and more important, I saw her using her power.
僕のことがわかりますか?
This also looks like a cover of a drama right now. Leah, do you recognize me? Leah's shoulders twitched and she ran towards Okuni as if fleeing from me.
よしよし、怖かったね。
Oh, no. It's all right. You were scared, weren't you?
撫でられるのは嫌だったか？
Did you not like being pet? I did. I felt like being pet by my mother. I was happy. Wait, are you maybe my mother?
あんたがそう思うなら、そうかもしれないね。
If that's what you think, then maybe so. Mother.
おやおや、甘えん坊さんだね。
My oh my, you're so needy, Leah. I've been waiting to meet you, Mother. Please don't leave me again.
もちろんさ、可愛いあんたを置いて、どこかに行ったりしないよ。
Merry Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas Eve to you too. Hope you got all your shopping done. Of course, I would never leave you behind, my adorable daughter. I'm so happy. I love you, Mother.
彼女、お国を母親だと思っているから、あんな顔を見せている。
She's making that face because she believes Okuni is her mother.
それが分かっているのに、あの幸せそうな顔を僕以外の存在が引き出した。
Even though I know that someone other than I was able to bring out such joy in her.
そのことに腹渡が煮えくり返りそうだ。
The thought alone makes my blood boil. Mother. Leah.
今すぐお国から離れなさい。その女はあなたの母親ではなく、あなたをそうしてしまった元凶です。
Get away from Okuni this instant. That woman is not your mother. She's the whole reason you become like this. Mother, that man is scary.
だからお国は母親ではないと。
As I said, Okuni is not your mother.
冷静になれ。これではますます彼女を怯えさせるだけだ。優しく諭すように話しかけなければ。
You promised me you'd end my life if I became a Blightfall. Stop trying to reason with me. Calm down. This will only make her more frightened. I must talk to her in a gentle voice, like I'm trying to persuade her.
大声を出してすみませんでした。お国のそばにいるのは危険なんです。ほら、僕のところに来なさい。
I apologize for raising my voice. It is dangerous to be by Okuni's side. Now come here to me. No. Leah. He's mad at me. The threads around his neck are all red. I know what red. That red means mad.
しまった。
Oh no. Leah can see the threads of my emotions. Even after becoming a Blightfall, that hadn't changed. And as she pointed to my neck, Leah shook her head. Mother, I'm so
よ
scared.
しよし、あんたを怖がらせるような糸は真っ黒に染めてしまおうね。
It's alright. If those threads scare you, let's dye them black. Black?
そうさ、私もあんたも真っ黒だ。みんな黒に染めてしまえば怖くない。だって同じ仲間なんだからね。
Yes, dear. Yours and mine are black. If everyone's is dyed black, there's nothing to be afraid of because then they'll all be our friends. Yeah, if that's what you say, then I'll do that, Mother. Let's actually, can I even... Yeah, no, I made the wrong choice. It showed the snowflakes. I thought I made the right one. If that's what you say, then I'll do what Mother
いい
says.
子だね。私はちょっとマブの様子を見てくるから、ここはあんたに任せたよ。
Good girl. I'm gonna go check on my lover, so I'll leave this
や
to
り
you.
方はわかるね。
You know what you must do, right? Yes, Mother, have a nice trip.
行かせ。
I won't let... You won't get in Mother's way. I blocked Leah's attack at the last moment.
お国、待ちなさい。
Clooney, wait. Go away, scary man.
戦い方はお国と同じようだ。しかし、一撃一撃が重い。
Seems like her fighting style is the same as Okuni's, but each strike is heavy.
正気に戻りなさい
Leah, return to your senses.
お願いですから目を覚ましてください
Leah, I'm begging you, please wake up. Shut up.
僕の声は彼女に届かないということか
So this means my voice is not reaching her.
僕がかろうじて攻撃を防げているのは彼女の祈りが込められた刀があるから
I'm barely able to defend off her attacks because I willed this sword imbued with her prayers.
僕を追い詰めるのもギリギリで生かすのも彼女のおかげだなんて皮肉でしかない
The same person backing me into a corner is the same one keeping me alive. How ironic. Hurry up and disappear. For some reason, Leah had released more threads at the audience rather than at me. A man with black threads wrapping around him, foaming at the mouth, started to twitch. He spat out blood and died. When he did so, a bright light emitted from his body and Leah absorbed it through the black threads. That was delicious. She smiled innocently, forcing me to face the cruel reality of her truly becoming a Blightfall. Now it's over. The strike was heavier than before and sharper. She must have absorbed the human's life force and strengthened the attack of her robes. What? Are you still standing? Fine then, I'll just have to take more.
彼女に罪を負わせるわけには
I cannot let her commit any more atrocities. Classic. I raced forward and deflected the black threads that shot towards the audience with my sword.
どうにか防げているがいつまで持つか
I'm managing to fend her off, but there's no telling how long I can do this for. My right arm was already stained with blood. That I was still able to move it. That I was still able to move it was a mystery even to myself.
こんな時なのに思い出すのはあなたと出会ってからのことばかりだ
Despite the situation, the only thing that came to mind is all the memories I've had since
娯
meeting
楽
you.
街で一緒に仕事をしたこと可愛らしいお嬢さんかと思いきや思いのほか役に立つのを知ったこと
The time we worked together in the entertainment district, how I thought of you as this cute little lady before realizing how surprisingly
か
useful
んざ
you
しの
were.
持ち主と同じで僕に情を押し付けるだけの人間だと落胆したこともあった
There was a time I was disappointed at you for being like my previous owner, a human who did nothing but push their own emotions
あ
on
の
me.
時は本当に驚いたあなたがあれほどの劇場を秘めているとは想像もしなかったから
I was beyond surprised at the time. I never imagined you could hold such an intense emotion.
僕は貴子として生まれたくさんの人間を見てきた
My back is like hurting. I'm like, I gotta figure a position that stops hurting my back. I was born as a vessel. I have met my fair share of humans. I have also met many who have confessed their love to me.
けれど本当の意味で僕を見てくれたのはあなただけ
You were the only one who saw me, the true me. That's not true at all. She had the hots for you.
歌舞伎役者の錦ではなくただの金次をあなたは好いてくれた
Not as the kabuki actor Kin. I finally get it. That's his stage name. This whole time I was like, why are they giving him a nickname? You liked me even when I was simply Kinji.
今ならわかるあなたに惚れさせてみなさいと言った時から僕はすでに惚れていたんだ
I understand by the time I asked you to make me fall in love with you, it was that I had already fallen for you.
今さら本当に今さらだけどきちんと好きだと伝えればよかった
Is it too late? It may be far too late now, but I wish I could have properly told you.
好きです
Yeah, I like you. I did not mean to say it out loud. Before I could stop myself, the words had came out of me. A self-deprecating smile appeared on my face at the realization of how easy
け
it
れ
was.
ど最後に好きだと伝えられて
Oh
よ
no.
かった
I'm glad that I was able to say it before the end. There was no longer any strength in my right arm. My sword was knocked away. All that was left was to wait for the death she would grant me. No matter how long I waited, the pain of death did not arrive. Thinking it strange, I opened my eyes. The robes had stopped right before they would stab through me. Leah. She was shedding tears with an expressionless face. My chest tightened with pain. Kill me. It was as if I had hadn't predicted this request. Kill me, please, Kinji.
わかりました
I understand. Even if Leah had not made the request, I had promised to her that I'd perform this no sacrament in this very situation. I picked up the sword I dropped. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, dear. Oh, no. I took the blade, heavy as lead, and plunged it into her without a hesitation. Gurgle! She spat bright red liquids from her mouth. It drenched my face and drenched my hair. The strike must have hit her organs. Gah, 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 gah. Oh, I don't know if his face changed. It's so subtle sometimes. Her body trembled even harder. Leah, this must be what they mean when they say one's heart has shattered into 1,000 pieces. Though my chest felt like it was being torn apart, I still had to fulfill Leah's wish.
もう
But any more than
これ以上
this is Kinji. I quickly raised my head, surprised at how she could still speak. Thank you. Leah,
あなたという子はどうして
how can you still be like this even now? He's gonna go mad.
僕が殺したのだ
Done it. I killed her.
ああ僕も良いかになるんだ
Oh, if you became a Blightfall earlier, you could have been together. I shall become a Blightfall too. A mask-like object appeared on my face. It was only a matter of time before I would become a complete Blightfall. I want to see the mask.
何も成し遂げられず良いかになるなんて滑稽だ
How pathetic to become a Blightfall without accomplishing
これで
anything.
は僕の持ち主と変わらないだがこの結末を後悔しない
At this rate, I am no different than my owner, but I have no regret about this ending.
あなたと出会いあなたを愛した一時とはいえ心を通わせて本当に幸せだった
I met Leah and I
胸が
loved
湧
her.
けば
'Twas only for a short while. Nevertheless, I was happy. If I had but one wish.
来世でもまた僕と恋仲になってください
What a Christmas Eve, Kinji. Jeez, let us fall again, love again in the next life. The glass ornament that she once called beautiful broke apart and scattered on the floor. I assume he did that himself.
君は雪間に恋願う
What a story route. Okay, hang on. Okay.
君は雪間に恋願う
Gotta check my notes. interesting. I'm missing 2 pictures. Okay, okay. Not now. I breathed in and yelled in a voice loud enough to reach Okuni and the others. I don't know where I messed up, by the way. I don't know if this... I'm so confused. He likes me so much. What did I do wrong? I breathed in and yelled a voice loud enough to reach Okuni and the others. Ah! The 2 of them looked at me, wondering what was wrong. I see, good thinking. Using the distraction, Kinji immediately regained his footing and dodged the attack.
やるじゃないか。
おい、俺のこと忘れてない？
Hey, did you forget about me? And then I heard Otaru's voice from above. Though he had... I wasn't sure how he climbed up. Okay, can I? I can, but I can't because I can't hit the right side. Stilling, that wasn't a surprise. His hands were full. No, I didn't want to do the bad ending first. It did the snowflakes like it was the right choice. He's 100% in love with me. I don't know how I got the bad ending. So I don't know if there's like a choice somewhere before that I messed up on. But like every single thing gave me flowers and snow. If Jay was here, she'd be like, you always do this. I'm like, I don't know how I did it though. He was so into me. I don't know what I did wrong. Although I guess getting the bad ending first would make more sense, right? We start with the sad and then we go to the happy. Did this... Did Birche Evermore ruin me? Dude, hang on. Had lanterns? No way. One by one he dropped the lanterns. They started to burn. Oil peered through as well. Maybe they messed up. Maybe it didn't mean to have snowflakes when she said pray harder. Because snowflakes usually means that you did the right choice. Maybe the game's wrong. Flames. Of course, Virtue ruined you. It ruined me so bad. Audience is safe. I didn't expect anything less. From the talisman, we don't repeat. I know this conversation. Ugagaga. With most of the source of her power now burnt up, Okuni fell to her knees. Served you right. He gives I don't know the right phrases, twin brother energy. I think I'm picturing Oni on Host Club. Probably a glitch or something. That's what I'm thinking. Because in everything else, when the snow fell, you got the good ending if you pick the snow falling options. Otaru proudly puffed out his chest. How dare you? Oof. Okuni gathered up the remaining of the black threads and created a black blade-like weapon.
Otaru!
Okay, Otaru dodged. And then he dodged. This is stuff we've had. Lost his footing, slipped. And then Kinji's a hero and ran after him and saved his life. My target was Leah the whole time! Okuni sent forth a bundle of black threads towards me. Kinji retrieved the sword, but he was a moment too late. I can't dodge. Oh yeah, he throws the kunai. Repelled. Create an opening. Leah, behind you. Right.
しかし宝太郎、あなたがそんな時
こっそり練習してたんだ。
Practicing. Let them loose towards Otaru. Whoa! He was out of kunais. Oh, wait, did he fall off the stage? Full force of the blow fell off the stage. She then threw black threads at... She then brought the black threads to herself and once again tried to attack me. But Kinji used his sword to stop
彼女に
that.
は指一本触れさせません。
You will not lay a single finger on my girl. Kinji. The battle between the two increased in ferocity, and even though I just saw sparks flying, Kinji always protects me, so now it's my turn. Ooh, okay, this is different. As the feeling intensified, light began to pour out from my hands, and as it slowly enveloped Kenji. Kinji slashed through the weapon made of black threads, and Okuni's eyes widened. Not wanting to waste the opportunity, Kinji followed up with a series of attacks. Let us win. Didn't attempt to surrender. This is repeating.
今さら命乞いでもするつもりですか?
Do you really think you can beg for your life after what you've done?
そうじゃないんだ。ねえ、キンジ。私、疑う持ち主の気持ちから生
I
ま
believe
れ
that's
た
our
以
duty
上、
to
持
live.
ち主が望
Choked out from the back of her throat. Kinji would immediately cut the cloth down.
でもね、あの人と出会って新しい生き方を知ったんだ。あんただってそうだろ。
I'm my own person.
私
I
生き
can't
て
die in a place like
あの人
this.
と新たな道を歩むんだ。持ち主から意志を託されたものと
Yep. This is the same as me saying I don't do flashbacks. I don't reread the same text again. It's all the same thing. Some of it's been a little different, I think. I don't really know. They've done this a couple of times in this game. Reinforcing her robes, Okuni used the last of her strength.
そうですね。僕もあなたと同じで女より美しい男になれと。僕には事情があっ
Had my heart sealed
け
away.
れ
Met
ど、
Leah.
僕にあなた僕は
I must end this.
あなたを
I will
倒し
defeat you. And at the same time he uttered those words, Kinji once again cut down the robes. And finally he cornered Okuni on the edge of the stage. It appeared that she could no longer weave together black threads. All that was left to destroy her original tool, the hairpin, with no sacrifice. And this is when I went, go, and turned into a blightfall. I won't let you. As if it was her final stand, which it kind of was, Okuni launched her black threads at me, but they did not have the same speed as before. It was easy to cut down Okuni's true form, the hairpin. With a tool that served as her other body sliced in half, Okuni let out a heart-rending scream. You cannot put TR. You can't put RTR for me. It's too much. Her eyes wide open, she collapsed to the ground. Simultaneously, cheers erupted from outside. Woohoo! Great job, guys! It seemed that the massive Blightfall rampaging outside had also been safely eliminated by the Oniwa bomb.
あ
Okuni!
んたたちが邪魔しなければ私はマブと新たな道を歩めた。
If you hadn't interfered, I would have been able to walk a new path with my lover. Little by little, Okuni's body started to fade away. The hairpin that gave birth to her, as well as the wooden tag around her neck, started to crumble. Okuni,
あなた何をしているん
what
で
are
す
you
か?
doing? Let go at once. I will not. Leah. No.
どうしてそこまでして奥にはあなたを殺そうとしたんですよ。
Why are you so obsessed? May I remind you that Okuni tried to kill you? I know, but if I don't do anything, Okuni will disappear as a blightfall. I owe her a debt. When I infiltrated the brothel as a courtesan, she took care of me. She treated me very well. I was able to complete my mission in part because she was there, even if she turned out to be the mission. Okuni is not a bad person. I think this happened because she was kind-hearted. You should know this more than anyone, Kinji.
それは
That is. I want to save Okuni. Even if you try to stop me, I will pray for her. I placed my other hand to her chest and prayed with all my might, and then light appeared from our clasped hands, enveloping Okuni as she was disappearing.
公害が
The hairpin? Her body continued fading, but little by little the hairpin started to regenerate. As it did so, a blinding light filled our surroundings. Okuni's eyes slowly opened. Her eyes no longer reflected the insanity of a blightfall. Her gaze was
あん
clear.
たたちには随分と迷惑をかけちまった。
I caused quite a bit of trouble for you two. Okuni?
まったくあんたはお人よしだよ。殺そうとした私を心配して
Oh, darling, you're just too good-natured.
まるで
Not gonna lie, I actually like her a lot.
みたいだ。
Okuni's character is honestly, yeah, she's literally the mother hen. I don't know how I feel about her. I think I'm pretty sure I said it as soon as they showed her. I'm like, oh, you have villain eyes. I'm like, those eyes, those are the eyes of a villain. And then she turned out nice, and I was like, oh, maybe she's not a villain. And then she's the villain. I'm like, oh, look, I did it. I guessed. Literally, it's like a Jessica Rabbit. She's like, I'm not bad. It's just how I was drawn. Like, I mean, she has a very sympathetic story. I have no clue who this Blightfall is she fell in love with, waggles eyebrows, but apparently he was very charming. And once you're infected with the Blightfall darkness, you really can't stop yourself. Oh, darling, you're just too good-natured, worrying over me when I tried to kill you. You're just like him.
少し疲れちまったよ。長い間お国として
My real question is, does she actually owe a debt to the brothel she works at, or is she just there for funsies at this point?
いいだろう。
How could she possibly owe a debt at her age? She's over 100 years old. I'm a little tired. I worked so long as Okuni, I think I've earned a rest. A happy smile appeared on Okuni's face, and she slowly closed her eyes. All that was left was the hairpin, which looked brand new.
腕を見せてください。
Leah, please show me your arm. Kinji grabbed my wrist. He slowly and fearfully pulled back my sleeve. The mark disappeared. Aww. Look how cute. She got herself a geisha. Leah. He pulled my arms and hugged. Wait, does she have the hairpin? Where's the hairpin? I want her to be holding the hairpin. He pulled my arm and hugged me tightly. It's so cute, man. I like this one too. I'm saved. Kinji, can you relax your hold?
わざと強くしてるんです。
I'm hugging you this hard on
事
purpose.
件を解決できたからいいものの、あなたは無茶しすぎです。お願いですから、もう二度とあんな無茶はしないでください。
It's all water under the bridge now that the case is solved, but you mustn't be so reckless. I beg you, never do something like this ever again.
本当にあなたを失うのではないかと生きた心地がしませんでした。
I truly felt like I would die at the thought that I might lose you. Kinji. I I really do love you so much, Kinji. Can I stay with you forever? Kinji blinked at my sudden confession, but he immediately gave me a soft smile.
あなたはすぐ無茶しますからね。仕方ないので、あなたが無茶しないよ
You've always
う、僕
been
がそばでいていただ
irresponsible.
きます。
Whoa, 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 Kinji. Calm down. I suppose I have no choice but to keep an eye on you. Can't let you get too reckless now. As I expected, he didn't reply with an I love you, but those words were more than enough. We'll always be together. Huh? Stage play now. I heard the sounds of clapping and exchanged glances with Kinji.
お熱いね。
Whoa, is it getting hot in here? Look at these two girls on a
二
stage.
人とも幸せに。
Congratulations, you two. It seemed that the audience had also woken up. One by one, they got up and gave us a resounding ovation.
キンジさんと彼女がね。うん。お似合いの二人だ。ルリコもそう思うだろ？
Actually, I just realized I'm mad that her lipstick didn't turn out to be evil. I thought her lipstick was going to be evil. This gothic lipstick, the same color as Threads, didn't turn out evil. The heck? Or maybe it turns out evil in Otaro's route. Right? Maybe. Kinji and Leah, eh? I think they're perfect for each other. Don't you think so too, Ririko?
でも私たちには及ばないんじゃないかな。タツさん大好き。
Yeah, but they're not as perfect as us. I love you so much, Tatsu.
こら、ルリコ、こんなところで。
Come on, Ririko. We're in public.
お前たちも世間を騒がせたんだぞ。それなのによく平気で不死だらな行為ができるな。
You two stirred up your own share of troubles, mind you. You have some nerve acting so lewd in public as if nothing
まあ
happened.
まあ、相手がいないからってやっかみは良くないぞ。
Come on, you shouldn't be jealous just because you don't have a partner.
やっかんでなどいない。そもそも俺はああいう相手を作るつもりはない。一生独り身。実に素晴らしいじゃないか。
I'm not jealous. I don't have any intention of finding someone like that to begin with. A bachelor forever sounds wonderful.
ああ、安心しろって。そのうち清彦にも清彦みたいな人がいいって言ってくれるような既得な相手が見つかるから。
Oh yeah, when you had that theory about the lipstick, I was smiling in an evil way like, nope. But it could be in his route because like she literally said she makes it herself, which seems a little sussy. And like it's the same color as the lines and stuff, so it could still pan out into something. There's always clues in that sub route towards both because the two stories for the individual characters don't have the same things happening in them. All right. Don't worry, man. One day you'll find the perfect someone who will say, hey, I want someone like Yohiko, you know, a real piece of work.
どういう意味だ。おい、逃げるな、大太郎。
What do you mean by that? Don't you run from me.
視線をくぐり抜けたというのに、なんだか締まりませんね。
Though we just barely made it out of there with our lives, somehow it doesn't quite feel like it. Still, it feels like everything's finally at peace. It's all finally over now. Yeah, Buddha, you've got fans that want to marry you. I'm still at odds with him. Surrounded by cheers and applause, I gently leaned my body against Kinji's. I don't know if I could do that in public, honestly. I don't care if it's just leaning. I can skip the flashbacks. Thank you for teaching me that, by the way. I've been sitting here the whole time. Farewell. Farewell to this world and this final night. Our deaths will frost that fades with every step pitiful as a dream within a dream. Oh, could it be the bell of morn doubt tell the seventh toll will be our last before we leave this world for everlasting peace.
生まれ変わったら幸せに。
I hope they can find happiness in their next life. Sniffle. Sob. Does he get to play a boy this time? Is he a boy this time? As the story drew to a close, I could hear scattered sniffling and crying from the audience. Sob. Sob.
もうあなたったら泣きすぎよ。
Mimi. Dear, you're crying too much. After I heard Mimi say that to me, I turned my gaze from the stage to her. Mimi, you're crying too. Maybe she was crying more than I was. Her eyes were as red as a
だっ
rabbit.
てあんまりにもかわいそうで、来世ではどうか幸せになってほしいわね。
This is making me feel like Demon Slayer, and I don't appreciate this. I don't like being reminded of that. I mean, I just feel so bad for them. I want them to be happy in the next life. Yeah. After I wiped away her tears with a handkerchief, I looked back at the stage. An actor dressed as a merchant was pointing a dagger at Kinji, who was dressed like a corazon. Take it. Ah. The moment Kinji lowered his face, my eyes fell on the hairpin in his hair. I wonder if Okuni is watching this scene too. After what happened, Kinji took ownership of the hairpin that Okuni had turned back into. Both the owner of Okuni's brothel and the trope leader of Kikirido offered to take it, but Kinji rejected their suggestions. Okuni, in her heart of hearts, had never truly wanted to be a substitute for Izumo no Okuni in the first place. That was why Kinji, as one of the few who understood her position, decided to carry on her hopes and dreams. Having heard that, the brothel owner and trope leader must have had no choice but to back down. That was why Okuni was now metaphorically standing alongside Kinji on the kabuki stage. Stabbed in the chest, Kinji, as the corazon, fell over onto the stage. And the actor playing the merchant placed the same dagger against his own neck and perished as well. That was the end of this story. But so long as Kinji stood on stage, Okuni would be standing there as well. Not as a substitute of Izumo no Okuni, but as Okuni, the one-of-a-kind person that she was. But if her hairpins... Okay, hang on, I'm confused. The tags can break, but if the hairpins remain... Not always hairpins. The object remains, they can be turned back into a person. Couldn't they make her a person again? The play ended, and I walked through the entertainment district with Mimi. After the case was solved, the entertainment district had started to regain its livelihoodness. When I saw the happy faces of people walking on the street, I felt the peace was truly returned.
天女の羽衣騒動が収まったって感じがするわね。
It really feels like the whole commotion over the celestial maiden robes has been resolved. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask, what were you doing with this when the celestial maiden robes were going around?
奉公先の水茶屋にほとんどこもってたわ。だから、なかなかあなたにも会いに行けなかったのよ。
I basically quarantined myself in this tea stall I worked at. That's why I wasn't really able to go and see you.
ほら、あの病気って何が原因で感染するかもわからなかったじゃない？
No one knew what would cause people to get infected,
い
right?
つ自分がって毎日怯えていたけど、流行が収まって本当に安心しちゃった。
I was scared, like, when is it gonna be my turn? But I feel so much safer now that it stopped
それに
spreading.
変な化け物も出なくなったし、安心して夜も出歩けるようになったのよね。
And those weird monsters haven't been appearing anymore, so I don't have to worry when I walk at night either. Huh? Mimi, you walk around at night?
そう頻繁じゃないけど、お得意様のところに行って戻ってくると結構遅くなる時があるのよ。
Not that often, but it can get pretty late when I go to visit some of the regulars' houses.
それも病気の流行でお休みしてたけど、最近はようやく再会できるようになって。
We put a pause on that when the disease was spreading, but we finally started that up again recently.
自由に出歩けるって素晴らしいわね。
It's really wonderful to walk around whenever you want. She was right. Here's the other thing too, right? They always talk about how like they're imbued with their owners' like personalities and traits. Mimi acts nothing like MC. Mimi has no yearning to, I don't know, date a bunch of guys, live in the mountain. What's our character's traits? Hang on. Though Blightfall naturally continued to appear, only a handful were born per month. It may have been because Okuni, a powerful Blightfall, had been exterminated. It may have been something else. Either way, Ito was surprisingly peaceful right now, and Otaro had ran up a mountain. We haven't seen him in 3 weeks.
そういうあなたはどうなの？見せ物小屋の手伝いをしてるって聞いたけど、やっぱり例の騒動でお休みしてたのかしら？
And how about you? I heard you were helping out at the show tent, but were you out of business during the whole incident? Well, Leah! In that moment, Ruriko called out to me while walking over from the other side of the street. Next to her was Tatsunosuke, and I smiled at the both of them. Ruriko, Tatsunosuke, long time no see. Are you here today to have some fun in the entertainment
それ
district?
もありますが、瑠璃子がお世話になっていた議郎に挨拶しに行っていたんですよ。
That too, but we're going to pay a visit to the brothel where Ruriko used to work.
タツさんってば、遊女にねだられて、なけなしのお金をあげちゃったのよ。
Poor Tatsu gave what little money he had to the courtesans when they asked him for it. Can you believe it?
タツさんはお人よしなんだから。でも、そういうところも好き。
Tatsu's just too nice for his own good, really, but that's also what I like about him.
こら、瑠璃子。
Ruriko, quit it. Tatsunosuke tried to protest, but his expression was soft and happy. You two seem as close as ever.
うん。でも、本当の意味で仲良しになったのは、あの事件があってからかな。
I think it was only after the incident that we actually became close in a real sense.
いろんな人にたくさん迷惑かけちゃったし、これからは二人で償っていこうと思ってるの。
I'm sorry, I think that you weren't the one supposed to say this. I caused a lot of trouble for so many people, so we're planning on making up for it together. Tatsunosuke, did you tell her to say that? Tatsunosuke had been absolved of any crime, as he had been controlled by Okuni. However, Ruriko was still guilty of causing trouble as the Nekomate boy, even though she too was being controlled by Okuni. Making up for such a crime would not be an easy task, but they had chosen to stay together after the incident. If anyone could pull through, it would be these two.
初めて歌舞伎を見たけど、すっごく感動しちゃった。
I sneezed. That was the first time watching a kabuki. It was such a touching story.
最後の場面は涙が止まらなかった。
I couldn't stop crying at the last scene.
私なんて泣きすぎて目が真っ赤よ。これで仕事したらお客さんに心配されちゃう。
I cried so much my eyes are all red. If I go to work like this, the customers are going to be so
親
worried.
方様に今日はお休みしますって言っておいたから大丈夫よ。それよりこれから。
I told the boss that we would take today off, so we'll be fine. More importantly, what should we
あ
do?
ら？
Is that Leah Kurasan number 5? The one that liked to tease me and say you wanted to date my boyfriend. Hey everyone, long time no see. Coming out of the show tent were the older sisters that I used to work with at the
久
brothel.
しぶり。元気にしてた？
It's been too long. Have you been well? Yeah, I have. Thank you. How about you?
あ、ねえ、あなたも舞台を見たんでしょ？
Hey, were you watching the play too, right?
すっごく感動したわよね。年季明け前にあんなものを見られるなんて夢にも思わなかったわ。
I felt so moved. I never imagined that I'd get to see something like that before the end of my service. Speaking of which, how did you all get here? The courtesans working at the brothel couldn't leave the red light district until their term of expiration. There was even a guard at the front gate. It was hard to imagine that they just let a group of courtesans walk
天女の
out.
羽衣騒動があって遊女を遊郭に閉じ込めるのはやめるよう幕府からお達しがあったんですよ。
Oh. After the celestial maiden robe incident, the shogunate ordered that all courtesans be allowed to leave the red light district when they please. And then
遊
Tatsunosuke
郭であれ
answered.
だけ天女の羽衣が流行したのは遊郭が閉鎖的な空間だったからです。
I don't know if that matters though. Like, do they get to live outside the city? They could still run away. The celestial maiden robes were able to spread so much because the red light district was an enclosed
それに
space.
流行が拡大して遊郭を閉鎖しても天女の羽衣騒動は収まりませんでした。
And when the spreading got worse, the pandemic didn't subside even when they closed down the red light
むしろ
district.
閉鎖して暴動が多発し、遊女が怪我をするといった事件も起きましたからね。
In fact, there were cases where courtesans got hurt because of riots caused by the quarantine.
今は行ける範囲が娯楽街までと限定されていますが、状況を見て城下町なども追加されるでしょう。
Right now, they're limited to visiting the entertainment district, but depending on how things go, they might be able to visit Castletown as well. I wasn't aware.
そう、そんなことになってたのよ。
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Thank you for asking us and having somebody else answer for us.
私たちが芝居を見に行ったりできるようになったのはあなたと錦さんのおか
Surprised she
げ
didn't
ね。
know that actually. She works so close to the
ありがとう。
Shogunite. We can all go see plays and stuff now, and it's all thanks to you and Kinji, so thank you,
今
Leah.
度また議論に遊びに来てよ。親方様もあなたに会いたがってるし。
You should come visit the brothel sometime. The boss wanted to meet you
いっ
too.
そまた所属してくれないかとか言ってるからね。錦さんが絶対あんたを指名するから儲かるのにって口癖のように言ってるよ。
He was even saying that he wanted you to work there again. Something about how he'd be able to rack in the dough because Kinji would always come to see you.
まあ金にがめつくなるのも仕方ないんじゃない？ほとんどの遊女が道具に戻っちゃって親方様には借金だけ残ってるようなもんだし。
I guess you can't blame him for being so greedy now that most of the courtesans returned to tools. The boss is left with a pile of debt and no girls. Do you know what happened to the courtesans who returned to tools? I was most concerned about Saki. Saki had returned to being a tool and was abandoned in the wooden box. If she's still there, then at the very least I want to return her to her
安
owner.
心して、みんな持ち主の元に返されたよ。持ち主と一緒ならまた形人になる可能性もあるんじゃないかって理由でね。
Oh, don't worry, everyone was returned to their owner. They explained that they might become form folk again if they're with their owner. Is that so? Thank goodness. The tools must be happy if they're then returned to their beloved owner. And while it might be in the distant future, there was also the possibility I might be able to meet Saki again. As I basked in these emotions.
どういうことなの？
What are you talking about? Mimi? Mimi grabbed my shoulders and shook me back and forth with all her might.
今の話だと、あなたが遊郭で働いていたってことになるわよね。
What they said just now, does that mean you worked in the red light district? Oh right, I never told Mimi about the Oniwaban or how I was working in the red light district. Mimi, I'll explain, just stay calm. I did my best to calm Mimi down and explain the circumstances behind working in the red light district. I was just trying to figure out why things were happening, I swear. Mimi? Leah? Yes.
あなた、幕府の下で働いてたのね。それならそうと最初に言ってくれれば。あ、でも秘密のお仕事だから言えなかったのよね。
You were working with the Shogunite? Oh, you could have told me that from the start. No, you had to keep that a
それ
secret.
にしても、議論に遊女として潜入なんて、ずいぶん思い切ったことをしたのね。
It's pretty
あなた、
bold.
怖くなかったの？
In any case, it was pretty bold of you to infiltrate a brothel. Weren't you scared?
そもそも、いくら仕事だからってよく承諾したというか、
Even if it was for work, I'm surprised you even agreed to it in the first
あなた
place.
だってああいうところは向いてないって言ってたのに、どうして承諾したの？
You said yourself that you weren't suited for those kinds of places. Why did you agree to it? Because Kinji recommended
金
me.
次さんが？彼もお庭番だったのは驚いてるけど、そもそも推薦されたからって受けるものじゃないわよね。
Kinji did. Yeah, I'm a simp for Kinji. I'm surprised he was part of the Oniwaban too, though it's not a job to accept just because of a recommendation, is it?
だって遊郭よ。遊郭で働くなら、遊女の真似も。
I mean, it's the red light district. If you work there, you must have to pretend to be a courtesan too. Mimi, calm down. Mimi was about to grab and shake my shoulders again, so I smiled at her as I answered. I was the courtesan reserved for Kinji.
それってどういう？
What do you mean? One of the older sisters suddenly raised her voice and interrupted
錦
Mimi.
さんよ。ほら、あそこ。
Kid, it's Kid, look over there. When I looked at where she was pointing, Kinji really was standing there. Kid! He must have noticed the older sister's voices. Kinji started to walk towards us.
舞台良かったです。
Your play
女
was
形がすごく
wonderful.
似合っていてドキドキしちゃいました。
He looked so good as an onigata. My heart wouldn't stop
錦
racing.
さんなら技能で働いてもすぐお客さんがついちゃいますよ。
If you worked at the brothel, you'd totally get so many customers.
それはどうも。
Thank you.
錦さん、あれからこのことはどうなんです？
So, Kin, have you been having fun with
やぼ
Leah?
なこと聞くもんじゃないよ。
それにそういうことを聞くなら錦さんじゃなくてこの子さ。
Don't be so rude. If you're gonna ask that, you should ask her, not Kin.
親方様の話だと結局水揚げもまだなんだろう。
Rumor
もう
has it you
錦
never
さん
had
と
your
ここに
misage.
合流したのかい？
Did you spend the night with him yet? What? That's what.
この反応を見る限りまだって感じだね。錦さん、こんな可愛い子を前にしてよく手を出さないでいられるよ。
The way you're reacting, it sounds like you haven't. I'm surprised you haven't made a move yet, Kinji. She's so cute.
え
Right?
うん、
So true.
余計なお世話です。それと、前々から言おうと思っていたんですが、彼女は僕のものなので、気安く触らないでください。
That's none of your business, and I've been meaning to say this for a while now, but she's mine. Do not touch her so freely. Kinji!
ねえ、聞いた聞いた。
Did you hear that?
僕のものって錦さんって意外と嫉妬深かったのね。
Kinji, I didn't expect you to be the jealous type. Oh, he's the possessive type, is not jealous. The older sisters were chatting loudly and excitedly while Ruriko and Tatsunosuke watched us with smiles on their faces.
ちょっと待ってね。あなたと金次さんって恋
Wait,
仲なの？
wait, just a second. You're in a relationship with Kinji? That's right. Mimi was at the tea stall most of the time. Of course, she didn't know about us. Mimi, I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. To tell the truth, I'm dating Kinji. Mimi, is that bad? Mimi said that I was her precious family. I didn't know what was wrong with Kinji for a familia point of view, but I wanted Mimi to approve of my relationship.
もう違うわよ。むしろ金次さんなんて今をときめく歌舞伎役者だし、いいお相手じゃない。
Oh no, dear, that's not it. Kinji's a popular kabuki actor right now, so he's a really good catch.
さっきのため息はね、あなたが技能で遊女をやっていたこと、金次さんとそういう仲になったことも知らなかったなんて、家族失格だなって。
I sighed because I didn't know you were a courtesan at a brothel or that you were dating Kinji. What kind of sister doesn't know that? It's not your fault. I didn't tell you anything. From now on, I'll tell you everything right away so you don't have to worry about me. Leah? What, Mimi?
あなたって本当にいい子ね。あなたが私の妹でよかった。
You're such a good kid. I'm so glad you're my younger sister. I'm so glad that you're my older sister, Mimi. After Mimi happily smiled, she quietly moved away. She then turned to face Kinji and lowered her head in a
金
deep
次さ
bow.
ん、この子のことをよろしくお願いします。
Kinji, I leave Leah to you.
ええ、もちろんです。
Yes,
大
of
切に
course.
します。
I'll take good care of her. She must have been reassured once hearing those words. A look of relief spread across Mimi's face.
家族公認なんてよかったじゃない。二人の祝言には必ず私たちも呼んでね。
Isn't that lovely? You got your family's blessing. Make sure you invite us to your wedding when you get married. Marriage? It's a bit early for that, I think. What about you
近
two?
いうちにあげられればと思っていますが、まだいつとは決まっていなくて、
We're hoping to have our ceremony in the near future, but we still haven't decided
お
on
恥ず
when.
かしい話なんですが、記憶がない間にかなりお金を使っていたようで、ルリコを身請けするので精一杯になってしまったんです。
It's embarrassing to admit, but it seems that I used quite a bit of money during my memory loss. Redeeming Uruko was all I could do.
私は祝言なんてあげなくても構わないって言ってるんだけど、タツさんがそんなわけにはいかないって。
I told him I didn't mind if we didn't have a ceremony, but Tatsu was just so adamant that
でも
about having one.
そこまでしてあげようとしてくれる気持ちは嬉しいし、私もお店の仕事を手伝ってお金を貯めてるんだ。
I'm so happy that he wants to do so much for me. So I've been saving money by helping out the brothel too.
そうですか。祝言を挙げる日が決まったら、二人のために桟敷席を用意しましょう。
I see. When you decide on a date, I shall save one of our dress circle seats at the playhouse for you.
嬉しい。錦さんの女型は綺麗だから間近で見たらそっと押しちゃうかも。
Wow, that would make me so happy. Your onigata is so gorgeous. If I see it up front, I might faint.
でも一番はタツさんだから。江戸広しといえど一番の男前はタツさんだもん。
Oh, but no one's better than Tatsu, of course. Ito may be big, but he'll always be the handsomest man
はい
here.
はい、お幸せに。
All right, we're glad you're
確
happy.
かに錦さんの女型は女でもうっかりするぐらい綺麗だけど、立ち役をしてるところも見たいよね。
Kinji's onigata may be pretty enough to make a girl fall head over heels, but I do wonder what he'd look like playing a
わ
man.
かる。浮世絵で描かれるのも女型だし、錦さん、たまには立ち役をやってみない？
I know, right? All of his yukioi are onigata too. Ken, would you plan on playing a man for a
い
change?
いね。きっと今より人気が出るよ。
You'd be way more popular than you are now. The older sister spoke excitedly, not knowing of circumstances, but Kinji was in.
そうですね。
Well, I looked up in surprise as Kinji suddenly pulled my waist closer to him.
演じても構いませんが、僕は彼女専用なのでお断りします。
I do not mind acting the man, but I am reserved for Leah, so I shall politely decline. Apparently, he had heard what I said to Mimi. I expected the sisters to be disappointed upon hearing his answer, but instead they loudly exclaimed things like he's bragging. Oh, behave. Oh, behave. Are you sure it's okay to say that?
え？もう持ち主の念からは解き放たれました。今の僕は女型以外を演じることに嫌悪感を抱いたりしません。
Yes, I've already been freed from my owner's will. I no longer feel any disgust towards roles that are not onigata. When he said that, Kinji's face was
あなた
bright.
と未来に進むと断言したのが念を解くきっかけになったようですね。
It appears that declaring I would continue living my life with you also helped release me from his will. Congratulations! But then why does he still continue to play only onigata? If he was freed from his owner's will, he should have been able to play whatever role he wanted. Suddenly I remembered the way Kinji looked on stage. If he plays a male role, then it would be impossible to wear Okuni's hairpin, so that may be why he's playing only onigata. And while this is still a theory, it might also have something to do with his previous owner. His former owner's wish was to become the best onigata actor and have his mother find him. Kinji's memories still haven't returned yet, but his heart has. There might have been a change in how he feels about his previous owner now that his heart is back. Tomorrow and the day after, Kinji would continue to stand on stage as an onigata, and one faithful day, his owner's mother might even notice the hairpin and they would be reunited. I couldn't help but wish for a future to arrive soon. After we said our farewells to Tatsunosuke, Ruriko, and the other sisters, we walked Mimi back to the tea stall and then went over to the tall hill.
まだ来ていないようですね。
Appears he has not arrived yet. It's still earlier than our meeting time, so let's sit and wait. We sat down in the open area so that the person we were waiting for could find us easily.
そういえば、ここに連れてくるのは初めてでしたね。
Speaking of which, I believe this is the first time I've taken you here. Yeah, but it's not the first time I've been here. I saw fireworks here with Yoichi. And I forgot his name, actually. I didn't know there was a place this close to so close to Ito. It was good weather today, so we could see the city of Ito in the entirety. When you were inside of Ito, all of the districts felt so large, but from here, the city looks as small as a grain of rice. I am sure it will be far prettier at night when all of the lights illuminate it.
今度夜に来てみますか。 今は夜でも良いかはほとんど現れませんし、もし出たとしてもかなり弱い良いかでしょう。
Would you like to come at night next time? Hardly any blightfall appear past sunset nowadays. Were they to, they should still be fairly
お
weak.
庭番を抜けた僕でも問題なく退治できると思いますよ。
I would be able to eliminate them without any issues even now after leaving the Oniwaban. That was right. After the incident, Kinji had left the secret Oniwaban. With fewer blightfalls around, naturally, the Oniwaban's workload was decreased. Because of that, they decided to downsize the division in charge of eliminating Blightfall. Even so, vessels were created for sole purpose of defeating Blightfall. Resignation would be voluntary. That was when Kenji and I volunteered. Kenji had regained his heart, and while not all his memories had returned, he knew about his owner who created him. He confessed this to the Onioban in full detail. Everyone had various reactions at the time, except for the entertainment district team, who apparently already knew and were not surprised. It seemed that they had caught on after Kinji was so vehemently against me using my powers of purification. But even so, they hadn't reported it to Kyoshiro or Lord Yoshimun. I had nothing but gratitude for Yabuda and Otaru. Yabuda's acting out of character. Soon after, Kinji's fate was decided. Kinji was popular as a kabuki actor and had also contributed greatly to the case. So he would not be exterminated. Instead, his cover job as a kabuki actor became his real job. While Kinji's predicament was solved, mine was another issue. As the one person with the power of the Hakuseki clan, they wanted me to stay in the Oniwaban. Lord Yoshimun asked me as much, and I couldn't refuse, still I wanted to stay by Kabuki, Kinji's side and support him. As I worried over what to do, I received a missive that I could leave the Oniwaban the next day. A message? At the time, I was simply so happy that I shared my joy with Kinji. However, I would quickly find out the truth. We had solved the Neko case thanks to my powers. The same went for the Celestial Maiden robe. Fewer Blightfall remained even without me. The remaining Oniwaban could keep the peace. That was what Yabuda had told Lord Yoshimun. After being informed as such, Lord Yoshimun agreed to let me leave, but on one condition. The condition that I would lead. The condition was that I would lend the Hakuseki clan's power if the need arose. I didn't think such a situation would arise, and neither would they. I didn't think such a situation would arise, and neither would they let it. But they wanted to take a precaution. Once I told Lord Yoshimun I would gladly lend my powers when the time came I was allowed to leave. Then, following our departure, there was yet another member who decided to depart. Otaru!
Oi!
Hey! Otaru was running towards us while waving his hand. The other person who left the Oniwaban was Otaru. We came to see him off today, as he was going on a journey. Otaru!
お久しぶりです。
It's been a while.
二人とも元気にしてた？俺はこの通り元気元気。
Hey, have you guys been doing well? I'm perfectly fine, as you can see. After he said that, he started to hop in place. Yeah, Kinji and I are doing
これ
great.
から旅に出るというのに、そんな身軽で大丈夫なんですか？
You're about to head out on a journey, yet you've packed so little. Are you sure you're all right? He's right. He only had one small piece of luggage, and it felt like it wasn't enough to travel.
ま、なんとかなるんじゃない？
Meh, I'm sure it'll all work out. Otaru smiled casually, which I felt was very characteristic of him.
それより見送りありがとうな。あ、締めっぽいのは嫌だから、さようならみたいなのはなしだぞ。
Anyways, thanks for seeing me off, and I don't like all that gushy emotional stuff, so we're not gonna do that whole goodbye
言
thing.
われなくてもしませんよ。今日、あなたの見送りに来たのは、たまたま時間があったからです。
You do not have to tell me. I have no plans to. I came here to see you off only because we happen to be free.
それに、見送りが誰もいないというのは寂しいでしょ。大太郎、僕たちに感謝してくださいね。
Besides, wouldn't it be sad if no one came to say farewell? You should be thankful, Otaru.
いや、そんな恩着せがましいこと言われるなら別に見送りは。
If you think I'm gonna thank you for something so condescending, you can kiss my...
今笑うとこ
You thought that was funny? Sorry, you two just seem so as close as ever. I couldn't help myself. So, Otaru, have you decided where you want to go?
とりあえず今日かな。そこでまた見せ物小屋の手伝いをするか。もしかしたら全然違う職業に就くかも。
Probably Kyo. For now, I might help out at a show tent again. Maybe I'll even find a whole new job.
着いたら考えるよ。
Anyways, I'll think about it once I get there. Do your best. You're good at making friends, so I'm sure you'll be able to land a job
そ
soon.
うですね。あなたならどこに行ってもうまくやっていけるでしょう。
She's right, I'm sure you'll do fine no matter where you may be.
当たり前だろ。俺、わがままで面倒くさいキコとずーっと一緒だったからな。結構体勢がついちゃってるんだよね。
Of course, I spent all this time with a selfish and annoying vessel. I'm like the most tolerant person in Edo now.
何か言いましたか？
Did you say something?
あ、自分がわがままで面倒くさいって自覚はあったんだ。
So you already knew you were selfish and annoying. Cool,
それに
cool.
自尊心だって高いし、自分から相手にちゃんと気持ちを伝えたことだってないだろ。
And you have such a strong sense of pride. You probably never told anyone how you felt without being forced to, have you?
相手が自分を特別に思ってるからって、それにあぐらをかいてたら、そのうち愛想つかされちゃうかもな。
Just because the other person thinks you're special doesn't mean you can sit around and do nothing in return, you know? They might even get tired of you.
お、そうそう。これあんたにあげる。
Oh, right, I have to give this to you. Otaru opened up his luggage and took out a notebook from
たま
inside.
たま任務中に見つけたんだ。処分するかどうかはキンジが決めなよ。
I came across it during a mission. You can decide if you want to get rid of it or not.
じゃあ、もう行くから。
Well,
またな。
I'm off. See ya. Look at this beautiful boy. Stay safe, Otaru. Otaru turned on his heel and ran off. I continued to wave at him until I could no longer see his back. It'll be pretty quiet without him around. I didn't spend much time with Otaru, but we had gotten close enough that I would miss him. I hope you can come visit Ito again. I could no longer see him, but I made a wish to Otaru before turning to face Kinji. Kinji, what did you get from Otaru?
どうやらお国さんの日記のようです。
This appears to be Okuni's diary. A diary? Wait, what? Isn't that really important? Why did
任
Otaru...
務中にと言っていましたが、怪しいですね。とはいえ本人はここにはいませんし、どうやって手に入れたのか確かめる術はありません。
He said it was during a mission when he was, pretending to be her boyfriend. But I do wonder, in any case, he is no longer here and there's no way to confirm how he
お
obtained
国
it.
さんがどうして特別な良いかになったのか、結局、お国さん自身から聞くことができませんでした。
In the end, we failed to hear from Okuni herself how she managed to become a special
そ
Blightfall.
の答えが、ここに書いてあるかもしれません。どうします？
This diary may
読みますか？
hold the answer we seek. What should we do? Should we read it? Let's
わか
read
りま
it.
した。
Understood. Right now, in this field? Kenji nodded and started flipping through the diary. One early morning, after I saw the customer off at the front gate, I didn't feel like going to sleep again. I ended up idling away. The night air still filled the room, and for some reason I didn't feel drowsy. The weather is so nice outside, maybe I'll open a window and let the air in. When I opened the window with the intention, I met eye with a strange man. He was a shockingly beautiful man, but he looked so incredibly lonely. He must not be someone of this world. To prove this, his feet weren't touching the ground and he was floating like a ghost. Perhaps I was so tired that I was seeing an illusion, but strangely I could not leave him be. I thought myself foolish for doing so, but I called out to him. To my surprise, the man responded to my voice. And he called himself Hebe! Ooh, it's Hebe again. I kind of thought it was going to be Hebe, honestly. When she said he's in and out of this world. When I asked him why he was there, he told me that something painful had happened, that he had ran away. My job was to offer a shoulder for a customer to cry on, to ease their pain by showing them a dream for a night. Why not tell me what happened? Though I can only listen to your stories, sometimes you just need someone to talk to in order to feel better. I told this to Hebe, and Hebe slowly revealed to me his pain and the struggle he was going through. Hebe's heart was often swayed by hatred. When those feelings intensified, he would end up creating monsters. He was only able to talk normally like this for a little while. He spent his time wandering, searching for a way to end his hatred. He tried to confess this feeling to his friend, but he was told to create more monster. If that's how it is, then I'll carry the hatred in your place. Before I knew it, that's what I told him. Hebe kept telling me that I couldn't do such a thing, but it was my decision, so he shouldn't mind. Are you saying that I couldn't bear the weight of your hatred? When I asked him that, Hebe looked apologetic, but eventually accepted my suggestion. After that, I started living with Hebe. The first day when I told Hebe that we could relax because I didn't have any customers, he looked confused, like he didn't know what I was talking about. It was quite amusing, so when I explained in detail, he blushed red all the way up to his neck before hiding himself. Maybe I messed with him too much. I apologized to him the next time he appeared, and then he apologized to me, saying that he was sorry for making me discuss such a difficult topic. He didn't make me say anything, of course. They only said it to poke fun at him. It seems that Hebe, the ghost, was beautiful both inside and out. Hebe stayed by my side for the next day and the day after that. He stayed on the roof when I was working in the red light district or with others. But other than that, he was always with me. Hebe said that he'd been feeling great after meeting me and smiled so happily that he made me feel warm inside. That was the first time I ever felt this way. When I returned from the bathhouse, I went to an accessory shop. I wanted to buy a new hairpin. My eyes paused on one with the same color as Hebe's eyes. When I imagined myself wearing that in my hair, I couldn't help but laugh. The owner asked if I wanted to buy it, but I had Izumo's no Okuni's hairpin. Even so, I couldn't stop thinking about it. In the end, I bought the hairpin. Every time I look at this, it would remind me of Hebe. Half a month later, after I saw a customer to the front gate, I hurried back to my room, but Hebe wasn't there. Was he on the roof? Where he preferred to be? I opened the window, but with the thought in mind, and there was Hebe spitting out curses at as his eyes glowed. I unconsciously reached out to him. As soon as I embraced him, I was overcome by powerful hatred. I hate humans. I hate everything. I hate them. 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 To think that Hebe could remain so pure while holding on to so much loathing. As a form folk, I could take on as much hatred as he could give me. I won't let Hebe be overcome by hatred. I'll be the one to protect Hebe. Humans who worked in the red light district are all full of lust and desire, every one of them. Courtesans line up behind the displays to susmin. How vulgar. Brothel owners are scum, treating women like expandable business tools. The men who come to buy women too are disgusting. Everything and everywhere there is filth. No matter how much I tried to wipe things clean, the filth would not go away. I feel as though I'm losing my mind. What can I do to cleanse these filthy humans? My lover is so beautiful, so why aren't they? Right, they all just need to become his friends. If he had more friends, he won't be so lonely. I'll heal your loneliness, Hebe. Okuni. Upon reading the diary, I learned the truth behind why Okuni turned into a blight
日比谷
ball.
という幽霊のような存在が
Yeah, go talk to
良いと
Yoichi.
口に
He
出してい
knows
たん
who
ですね。
Hebe is. A ghost like being known as Hebe was creating the blight
おそ
fall.
らく巨大な良いかは日比谷だったのでしょう。それを倒したことによって良いかの出現数が減少した。
The giant blightfall was
辻褄
likely
が合います
Hebe.
ね。
After we defeated it, less blightfall appeared. The theory fits. My voice. I never met Hebe, but I have heard his voice before. When Okuni was talking to Hebe, she sounded so happy. I knew just from the sound of her voice that she really loved him. The diary doesn't mention anything about her regretting loving Hebe either. I think she must have been happy that she met Hebe. This isn't something that I should say considering I was the one who defeated Okuni, but after reading this diary I can't help but wonder if there was another way we could have ended
心を
this.
取り戻す前であれば過ぎたことを後悔するなんて時間の無駄くらい言っていたかもしれません
If this was before I regained my heart, I may have said something along the lines of regretting the past is a waste of time. You really prioritized logic back then.
僕だけでなくキコはそういう思考なんです過ぎたことをいちいち気にしていたら良い方維持なんて務まりません
I was not the only one. All vessels think that way. If we keep worrying about things that have passed, we cannot eliminate Blightfall. Then how about now, Kinji?
そうですね
Let's
あなたの干渉を無駄だとは思いませんむしろそういう感情があるから
I do not think that your
人間は綺麗なものでしょう。
sentimentality is a waste. Rather, humans are beautiful because they have such emotions.
これまで僕は何かに執着したところで無意味だと思っていました
Until now, I believed it meaningless to be so obsessed over such
キコだ
things.
った自分からすると何かに執着して自分の人生を狂わせる意味が本当にわからなかったんです
From my standpoint as a vessel, obsessing over something so to the point of letting it ruin your life was something I truly could not understand.
自分には関係ない理解する必要のないものだと切り捨ててきました
That's why I had abandoned it as something that did not matter to me, as something that I need not
元の持
understand.
ち主を冷めた風にしか見られなかったのも同じ理由でしょ
It was likely the same reason why I could only perceive my former owner in the cold light
う
of
何か
day.
に執着して身を滅ぼすくらいなら一人でいた方が
If the alternative was to ruin myself through obsession, being alone is far. I'm right here beside you, Kinji. I gently held Kinji's hand. Would he call me impertinent and get mad at me for saying that? That's okay with me. Those are my honest feelings.
そうですね
You're right. And then, to my surprise, Kinji agreed with me. My heart sped up at the unusually honest response.
あなたが
Oh,
好きです
I like you, Leah. I thought he had managed to communicate his affection through his attitude before. This was the first time he put it into words. Kinji, again, please say that one more
随
time.
分必死ですね
You are certainly desperate. I mean, I don't know when I'll get to hear it again.
それなら毎日あなたに好きだと言ってあげますよ
Then I shall say I like you every day.
あなたが僕の隣にいると言ってくれたんです
You said that you would be by my side.
僕と一緒に生きてください
Please stay that way for the rest of our
好
lives.
きですよ
I like you, Leah. I like you too, Kinji. Ah, Kinji's lips. Woo! Kinji's lips pressed against mine. Ma. This wasn't the first time I had kissed Kinji, but perhaps because we had clearly communicated our feelings, my heart was pounding, and I was so happy I could dance.
愛しています
I love you. He said it with a bewitching smile, and I closed my eyes to savor the happiness I felt. Look at this happy ending. And then you just hear the Inuyasha
君
music
は
playing.
雪間に恋願う
Chapter 5, Tomonari Takamura unlocked. Woo! We got Tomonari now. Alright, let's make sure we got all his photos. 15 out of 15. We got them all. We did it. What a cute, wholesome little route. Now we can play Tomonari's route, and we can do Otaro's route. Otaru's got all the secrets. He's hiding
君
things.
は雪間に恋願う。
What I'm curious about is if I hit continue and could do this. Can I click on this and it will continue instead of giving me the bad ending? Just curious. He'd already started his route. Alrighty then. Well, tomorrow's Christmas. I have some plans in the afternoon, and depending on how much we are hosting a party with our friends, and we usually cook, so I don't know. I made bread last night, super exciting. It turned out really well, actually. I'm pretty excited about it. I've already warned the entire family that if you eat too much, I'll kill you, because I made it, and I want it. It's mine. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, tomorrow I might pop in if I can manage to get myself up early. I might have to get myself up early regardless, just because I'm going to need to prepare some more snackies. I'm making mashed potatoes. I have a green bean casserole I plan to prepare. We're making roast beef. We're debating still if it's going to be a slow cooker style or if we're actually going to oven cook it or something. We have so many options for that. I'm pretty excited to see how our meal turns out. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely Christmas Eve if you're watching this right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I stream on Twitch. You can see my newer stuff on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch and you'd like to see my older stuff, check me out on YouTube. Have a lovely time. Bye.